greatest offseason for a single team in NFL history.
Not only have the number 1 overall pick, they have taken every single round of the draft.
Welcome to the dark side, my friend.
Let's go, baby.
Raiders select Ashton Jenkins.
Bowers made the catch! Running, there, reached the 5, touchdown! Oh, over the middle, plucked up in the air, and picked off by Mark!
The greatness of the Raiders is in its future.
The future of the Raiders has been decided. Welcome in, everybody. Amber Theoharis along with James Jones and the Hall of Famer Eric Allen. Yay. And it is Fernando Mendoza, who just moments ago walked in the building right here in Henderson, Nevada at HQ, and the entire staff of the Raiders, from top to bottom, hanging off of balconies, there to see the new leader of the offense. That was pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, pretty cool. Good stuff. JJ got some great tape.
I do.
Of a man
He was out
walking in.
filming.
And I love the fact that, again, he has his 2 brothers behind him. He comes in, and he's just kind of been the same guy since, maybe high school. You hear all of his interviews. He's the same guy, calm, cool, collected, really appreciates where he is right now.
Yeah, I do got the video. We was hanging over the thing.
Yeah. We're
like Elvis came in.
Yeah, we're excited too. One thing I did notice, though, is he walked in, and he greeted somebody, and he almost stepped on the shield, and he knew it.
The rookie mistake. He knew it.
And he walked around, and I said,
look at that.
That's a good sign.
There you go.
He already in tune, man. He's focused. He already listening. He's coachable. He came in here for a visit, and they said, hey, man, 25 push-ups, you step on that shield. We're going to walk on that shield. And he caught himself. I said, okay. Yeah. All right, he on it then. Now we're going to know, man. Signals, we're going to know all that.
There you go.
It really was like Elvis came in the building. It was like a rock star came in. There was a sound system. There was an announcement. His family is here. And as he told reporters last night, he really had a choice because of his mom's health conditions.
Right.
He couldn't travel to the draft and to Las Vegas, so he chose Vegas to bring his mom.
And that was the first kind of win for us. He's like, hey, I chose Vegas over Steelers, basically. So we're 1-0 already.
Yes, right. Already. I like the sound of that.
Yep.
And we're going to have Fernando Mendoza right here on set coming up in just a bit. He's going to go to his press conference. We will take you out live to that. We will run the entire thing live for all of you, Raider Nation. And then right after that, he'll be here to sit down and meet his new family member, Uncle JJ, Uncle EA, and they're going to help him get ready to be.
I got some questions.
To be a Raider. We're also going to look ahead in this show to round 2. Remember, the Raiders have the number 36 overall pick. That is very high up in the second round. A lot of first-round grade talent has dropped down into the second round, and we will take a look ahead. We're also going to hear from Omar Ruiz from NFL Media. Paul Gutierrez is going to join us. Tim Brown is going to be in the house.
Yeah, the Heisman Trophy winner.
Going to talk to Tim Brown as well. So can't wait for what we have coming over the next 3 hours as we take you all the way up to the start of round 2. This is a pick that feels like the future is set. That for the first time in a long time, probably since Derek Carr was drafted, that it feels like they know what they're doing at quarterback and the expectation is there for the next several years. And that's a great feeling. I mean, I know he needs to produce, right? We haven't seen him in the NFL. But when you take somebody number 1 overall, the expectation is they are going to be at the helm for years to come.
Without a doubt. And like we were talking about yesterday, when you don't have like a franchise quarterback or a quarterback you believe can continue to take you, there's a bit of nervousness about you as far as being a fan, on team. And now the urgency is gone. Now you can kind of look at the roster and say, how do we build a team around this young quarterback who hopefully is going to be here for the next 10 to 12 years? So that question is answered. We've already had that kind of check mark answered on defense with Max Crosby, but you definitely need a kind of quarterback that you feel like everyone can get behind. And this is the young man that has that opportunity right now. So that's why Raider Nation is so excited to finally have a guy you can go out and buy his jersey, whatever number he wants to wear. And I'm pretty sure that this young man is going to take his responsibility very serious.
Yeah, and not only that, this is different than D.C. These expectations for Mendoza is way higher than they were for D.C.
Yeah.
Don't forget, D.C. was a second-round pick. They weren't hovering over the things right there, right now.
Well,
for DC.
Alameda, we didn't have that, though.
In Alameda, there was no balcony.
But, I mean, we could have walked in and looked over at DC, but he didn't have that.
Put him in the Coliseum.
Look over there. But DC surprised everybody.
Yeah.
DC came in there and took the starting job right away, just strictly off of his ability, right? But we weren't really expecting that. We just had traded for Matt Schaub. DC came in there and said, hold on, you made the wrong mistake. I'm the dude. And he went on to have a heck of a career here.
Yeah.
This is different from right now.
Yeah.
The pressure is on you, young fella, to turn this organization around.
Right.
And yeah, it sounds unfair, but that's what comes with being the numero uno, #1 overall pick to the Raiders. And do you got to build around them? Yes. But the pressure on this young fella to deliver.
Without a doubt.
Right
without a doubt.
And you wonder how the cadence is going to look in training camp. Now, I know that Rich Gannon, our colleague, he said that most of the reps should go to Fernando and Mendoza, the #1 reps, because Kirk Cousins has had them. You know, he's not with the Raiders, not in this exact offense. He will get some of them. But what's your guys' philosophy with that? Let's start with the offensive guy. Go ahead.
JJ had a great point yesterday about this and just kind of like crystallize what it's about.
Absolutely. So when you have a young quarterback, as a veteran player, we don't like playing in preseason. We don't. We want our sunflower seeds first quarter. We want to be helping the young fellas. But when you have a young quarterback, and you just brought up a good point, if you start Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins goes out there and plays the first 2 quarters, you mean to tell me when Mendoza go out there, he's going with the twos? No. So that means, do we want Brock Bowers out there in the 3rd and 4th quarter? Do we want Ashton Genty out there in the 3rd or 4th quarter? So I think it's a no-brainer that you got to put him out there with the ones early in practice and let him get those reps, because you don't want our really good players in there late in preseason. And if Kurt starts and Mendoza goes in, we can't evaluate him with the 2s and the 3s as a #1 pick. The starters are going to have to be out there with him. So I would hope that they have a plan and let him get a lot of these first-team reps, because Kurt has experience.
Yeah.
He knows. Kurt don't need to be out there in preseason either.
Right.
You know, so hopefully they do it the right way and they start this young kid so they could take care of the other veterans as well.
That's just a great point coming from a veteran who kind of understands it, because, you know, I'm thinking, he's going to run with the 2s or 3s, but no, he can't run with 2s or 3s because he needs to create, you know, that vibe and that relationship with, you know, Brock or whoever the running backs and things coming out the backfield for the check. So he needs to kind of get an understanding of, you know, what that tempo is going to be like.
And not only that, Brock should want that. When DC came here, I was a veteran, he was a rookie. I seen him spin it a couple times because I was jumping in there with Matt Schaub. Yeah. I seen him throw it a couple times. I said, Matt ain't going to be the dude. So I started bumping people out of the way. Hey, DC, come on. Because I already knew, you know, and you want to get that chemistry with him to be able to go out there and play well. Brock needs as many reps as he can with Mendoza.
Yeah.
You guys know my philosophy. I haven't been quiet about it. If you look at every top quarterback that has been taken over the last 5 years, in the top 3, let's say, or the top 10, they give him the ball. Throw him out there. Yeah, JJ's got throw him out there. Yeah. You know, I get that having Kirk Cousins gives you an opportunity if you get into camp and something goes absolutely wrong and you really see he's behind. But if you think that that's a possibility, why would you take him #1 overall? This is a guy that just played big-time football. Guys that have played less football. I mean, Drake May was out of North Carolina, right? This was a guy that just went to the national championship. Right. So why not throw him out there? Why would you bench him or let him sit just because you have the luxury of a veteran quarterback? Nobody gets better on the bench.
Right.
Nobody.
You're right.
Nobody.
But if you throw a guy in there, and this is not what the Raiders have. The Raiders have a great foundation this year. Got a new head coach, GM. Everything is set to play this young guy early. But in some scenarios, you're going to a trash, garbage organization that doesn't know how to develop and evaluate a young player. The offensive line is trash. You don't have great receivers. That's not a great spot for a young quarterback to play. And we've seen situations like that where that quarterback is never able to develop. Now, the Raiders, we have a great foundation right now. So I agree with you. I think we should throw him in there and let him get his ball off.
But my thing is, too, right, if you are the 232nd pick, I don't even know how many picks is in the draft. If you are the 232nd pick, EA, and they throw you out there, what you think the team gonna do? Win. You got what I'm saying? Because you think you that dude. So my thing is, look, you are the #1 overall pick. It's gonna be some bumps and bruises.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah.
I will remember my rookie year. I didn't get better standing over there. When they threw me out there in the game, I felt like I got hit by 32 people, and it's only 11 people on defense. But that's how fast the game was moving. He ain't gonna know that if he's standing on the sideline. So then we gonna miss 8 games if Kurt, because Kurt is not gonna play bad.
Right, yeah.
Right? Kurt ain't never really, like, just been awful. He's not going to play bad. So you mean to tell me 10 weeks go by and then now we want to throw the...
No, I'm not saying that.
Right
I
now
think
we just clapped him in, EA.
Yeah,
Go get your jersey. Yeah. And you going out there with the ones, man.
I can even play devil's advocate, right? People look at Bryce Young, and he went to what you were saying, a trash situation, right?
Yeah.
The Panthers were not good in that situation.
Right.
And he got his head knocked off. They had to bench him.
Yeah.
And so he had probably one of the worst case scenarios, right?
Yeah.
And look at him now. Did you think he got tougher having to sit and then having to bounce back? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took his lumps and he learned what he had to do to get back in there.
Right.
And so I don't think that was a missed opportunity. I don't think they mishandled that. It's like,
but that also is a situation where once you get here, you've went through a lot of the adversity through high school. I remember he was on a 7-on-7 team back in high school where he wasn't even starting quarterback, Bryce Young.
Right.
So he had to sit behind a couple guys. So he had already been through that. And once you reach this level, you've been through all that. It's just when you get here, and it's just like if you're a corner and you get to the National Football League and you have a trash defensive line and the quarterback has 7-8 seconds to throw. Doesn't matter how good you are. You're always going to be in a situation where you're going to be contested balls.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, when I came in, I had Reggie White. I had Jerome Brown. So it made things a lot easier.
Yeah.
You know, I knew the quarterback had to get rid of the ball like that.
let me ask you this, though. Would you, even if you get burned, you know, your first, you get 10 plays, right? You get burned, right? Not you. Not you.
She meant the other corner.
I meant the other ones. The other ones that came in and got burned because you never got burned. No, if you got burned, but you still learned from something from being out there rather than sitting on the bench. Like, I'm sorry, this is the big boys league.
It is.
You're going to get beaten. It is how you respond to being beaten.
That's right.
You know, you will, what is it, Maya Angelou? You will suffer defeats, but you may never be defeated.
Right.
And you learn who that guy is. Now, you should already know what you think he'll do in those situations if you're taking him number one overall. You already believe he's resilient.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You showed highlights of him from adversity yesterday. So, yes, he's going to respond in the correct way.
It's one thing for me.
I want to see him.
It's one thing for me. If he walks in this building and he walks into the huddle and he immediately shows you that he has it here, you throw him out there.
Yeah.
The only thing that will stop me from throwing out there is I'm like, okay, he ain't truly got it up here yet with the grasp of the playbook to really play extremely fast. We're going to put Kirk Cousins out there.
Right.
Because as a rookie, your head is going to be spinning. And that's as a wide receiver on offense. As a quarterback making all the calls and getting into the right play, that's even worse. So if he shows you that he's kind of struggling with that early, put Kurt out there. If he's showing
he's got to
you
be
he
able
has,
to make the calls.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
you can't not know the offense.
to Bryce Young, Sam Darnold early can make the calls, but mentally I don't think they had it all there. If he shows you, and the way he plays is from the pocket, but if he shows you he got it mentally, Kirk Cousins, hey man, with all due respect, you had a great career.
Yeah.
All right, get the clipboard.
Exactly.
All right, help this young fella develop from there as you make a whole lot of money too. Put it in your pockets.
That's where he should be.
And we'll have our bumps and bruises this season, but we know we got our due for the next 12 years.
That's right.
All right, as we said, Fernando Mendoza is in the building. Let's go out to NFL Network's Omar Ruiz, who is joining us. Hey, Omar, you're down there on the field. Looks pretty quiet yet. I guess Fernando hasn't made his way to the field house just yet.
Yeah, not yet, but he has made his way to the building. And I was out there in the lobby, the entire organization out there giving him a standing ovation. And one of the moments I thought was the most cool was after the applause quieted down a little bit for Fernando. His mom walks in, or in her wheelchair, is getting pushed by his dad, and the uproar was even louder for her than it was for Fernando. So obviously showing respect to Fernando, showing respect to his family. It was an incredible scene with all the Raiders Hall of Famers there. Fernando first going to embrace them, the likes of Marcus Allen and Fred Biletnikoff and Tim Brown and Jim Plunkett. So yeah, and especially the way Fernando Mendoza referenced that yesterday in his introductory Zoom call, all the tradition and history of the Raiders. He's ready to embrace all of it, and that was on display there in that moment in the lobby.
That's amazing, man. I mean, when you talk about this Raiders organization, and he kind of did his history about this football team, where do you think, as far as the rest of the quarterbacks that have been here, drafted number one, where do you think he fits right now?
Well, in terms of history with the Raiders and that #1 pick, I think he has every opportunity to, achieve everything in front of him. And that's the goal, right? And it's been such a long time since the Raiders were Super Bowl champions, let alone in a Super Bowl, let alone continuous playoff contenders. So I think at this point, to talk legacy, his place in history, obviously we would hope to have that conversation, as James alluded to, 12 years from now, face of the franchise and Pro Bowl caliber career. And hopefully that involves Super Bowl championships and bring, the commitment to excellence back to the organization in a way that we haven't seen in a while, frankly. And all the hope and optimism that we've seen this offseason continues with Fernando Mendoza now.
Yeah, somebody got to help me out here because me and EA was down there hanging over the rails to see the young fella come in, and Spytech walked out there, but we were talking to a couple people before, and we was like, there's a bunch of 15 jerseys or something. So somebody help me who wore 15 for the Raiders and played quarterback for the Raiders, because they said he told them, I don't think I've earned 15 yet because of the past people who wore 15 at the Raiders. So I don't know if I want to wear number 15 yet because I ain't earned that.
And that shows his respect and history for Tom Flores, the Hall of Fame coach who guided the Raiders to a couple of Super Bowl champions. And obviously, I'm a Mexican-American guy, very proud of the Raiders' connection to that history, and Flores, what he represents to our culture in professional football, and Jim Plunkett along those same vein, with a former Heisman Trophy winner, a former #1 pick, and Fernando Mendoza referenced Flores and the respect he has for him, saying that he knows all the history of Flores. And you think about his Hall of Fame career being one of the first people, if not the only person in NFL history to have earned a Super Bowl ring as a head coach, as an assistant coach, as a player. His legacy very strong, and Fernando having awareness of that and respect for that, to say he's not sure if he's earned 15, but certainly we've seen the stores now filled with those 15 jerseys. He's very much deserving of that honor, and I'm sure Coach Flores would happily pass that along to him. But just, again, the detailed knowledge of the history, the tradition, his reverence for it, his embracement of it just goes to show you how eager he is to get started and win games, bottom line, not just, embrace all the culture and the history, but to win games on the football field.
Omar, I want to go back to what you said. I think it's not lost upon Raider Nation, who probably has the biggest Latino community of fans of any team in the NFL, how important it was to hear Spanish spoken last night in the press conference. Can you just tell me, as you said, as a Mexican-American, what that meant just to you? I know everybody I know that is Cuban-American reached out to me on my phone. It was like, oh my gosh, we love Fernando. This is so great. What did that mean just to hear that language?
It was cool. And Mayra Gomez, the Raiders, Spanish analyst for the radio broadcast, the one who asked that. And I messaged her, just great job with the question. I think when I was growing up, I remember, working at NFL Network, Rich Eisen, when he was on SportsCenter in the late 90s with Stuart Scott. And sometimes Rich would say something in Spanish, 2 words, or 3 words, vaya con Dios. And I remember just hearing that on SportsCenter got me so excited to hear Spanish being spoken on ESPN. And now here, fast forward 30 years later or whatever, to have, a Latino quarterback again with the Raiders, the #1 overall pick, a Heisman Trophy winner, a national champion. There is that source of pride. There is that reconnection to the history, and the people of my generation who grew up Raiders fans, in large part because of Tom Flores and Jim Plunkett and the history that represented, and Al Davis, always, making sure he had inclusion, whether it was Art Shell, the first black head coach in the history of the NFL, or Tom Flores, the first Latino head coach in the history of the NFL. All of that represents our fandom, collectively, and to see again that on display here in 2026 through Fernando Mendoza is just really cool. It's cool to see, and I think taps into just the thirst and the hunger that I think this fan base has to reclaim glory on the field. And I think that's the sort of bottom line, that, we're happy that, it's a Latino quarterback who's here, and kind of the hopes of the future. But I know more than anything, they want to see a winner on the field, and that's what Fernando represents here going forward.
Well, I'll tell you, thanks for sharing that experience, because I know how close that was to you, knowing you for so long. So, Omar, thanks for sharing that, and I know it's a sense of pride for all types of Raiders fans right now. But we'll catch up with you in just a bit. Thanks a lot, Omar, for making time for us. All right, much more to come on the NFL Draft Live show. When we come back, we have Tim Brown coming up. By the way, that's Kirk Cousins' favorite Raider, he said. Tim Brown is who he remembers. Baron Davis, our guy, is coming up as well. Talk of the Nation, two-time NBA All-Star. And then Fernando Mendoza joins the show in just a bit. Keep it right here.
That is. That's a good roster.
It's game day. The day we've been waiting for. And this is more than just a game. It's a passion, a lifestyle. It's time to suit up, Raider Nation. This is Raiders football, where we all bleed silver and black. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Here at the Raider Image, you're part of our team. Every hat, every piece of gear. Let your loyalty show out. Whether you're in the stands or cheering from home, we've got your back. Feel the confidence, own the game.
We
are the Raider Image. Your game, your gear. Exclusively at the Raider Image.
It was funny because it didn't say Las Vegas, it said Raiders football. And so grabbed my phone, picked it up, and I mean, my friends just couldn't help but just start yelling, so I had to run away from everybody.
Caleb, John Spytek in Vegas. You doing all right?
Yes, sir. I'm doing great right now.
Oh, good. We got a lot of people there. All right. Well, you're about to be a Raider. Welcome to the dark side, my friend.
Talk to me, because I can't hear you. Hold on. Everybody yelling in the crib. Y'all about to make me a Raider?
You're going to be a Raider. Welcome to the dark side, I said.
Man, come and get me. Y'all about to get everything I got.
With the 98th pick in the NFL 2025 draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Caleb Rogers, guard from Texas Tech. Let's go.
I'm happy to be here. First day of school. I'm blessed. I'm extremely excited. How excited I am. I told him, send me the playbook tomorrow, put me on the plane tomorrow. I'm ready. I'm ready to be a Raider. I'm ready to be a part of this organization. I mean, it's funny. I guess I'm just a Raider for life. Like, I was a Raider at Tech. I'm going to be a Raider here. And so I'm excited to continue to be a part of that and continue to show how the Raiders transfer to the NFL and take over.
It's two loading, baby. Let's go. Time to get after it.
back at it. Get it.
Got the whole crew out here today, huh?
Oh, yeah. Day one, baby. We here.
Hey, it's Charles Snowden. Hey, get Charles Snowden. Hey, David. Man, glad to be back.
Hope everyone had a great Easter. We're happy to be back. Come on.
Dancing, man. Day one. We back at it. Let's go.
Number 1.
Bingo.
What would your draft strategy be if you were in the war room, you know, knowing the free agents they've already signed, their cap space, but what they need in this draft? Where would you start?
Yeah, there's a couple places on the defensive side of the ball you can look. Defensive tackle, I could see that with marrying up well with where they are in the second round. To me, I like the idea of just continuing to invest in the offense. Get a big wide receiver to add to the mix. If Denzel Boston from Washington were to get there in 2, maybe you could scoop up a guy like Malachi Fields from Notre Dame. Maybe he falls to the 3rd round. Would be a nice player to put in there. There's some good young players from last year's draft that they had that wide receiver spot, but I think you bring in more competition for them and just try and get some more firepower. If we're looking up and look, I think Kirk Cousins is going to get a long runway here to play and buy Fernando some time. But if we're looking up a year from now and you say, okay, let's say the Raiders got to 500 or maybe even a little over 500 in this next year, and the offense looks great, and we feel like we've got the quarterback in a good spot, but we still have some holes on defense. I think you feel great about things. I think if the opposite took place and you swing heavy on the defensive side of the ball, you have the same exact record, but you've got more question marks, at the quarterback spot, I think you wouldn't feel quite as good. So I lean, if it's close, I'm taking the offensive player.
You just hear JJ say thank you. It's the offensive guy right there. But look, there's a lot of talent, as we said. Some of those names are still available. Denzel Boston, who he listed the wide receiver out of Washington, is still available, as in just a couple hours, the Raiders will have the number 36 pick at the very top of the second round. So still some needs, a lot of talent out there. Also a reminder, we're going to hear from Fernando Mendoza right here on set coming up in just a bit. But let's go out with a man that knows a thing or two about offense. Tim Brown, the Hall of Famer. He joins us now from the Fieldhouse. Tim, it is so great to see you. I know you were standing out there when Fernando Mendoza was announced and walked in. What was just your impression of seeing the young man come into the facility?
Yeah, just as humble as always, I had a chance to meet him at the Heisman ceremony and kept in touch with him throughout the playoffs. And even a couple of days before the big game, we were chatting a little bit about that game. So I don't expect much more from him. I mean, that's who he is. He's a very humble guy. And like he says, he's ready to get to work.
I'll tell you, TB, man, you are one of the best to ever do it, right? In the silver and black, man. Just really appreciate what you've done for the Raiders. Talk to us a little about some of those conversations you've had, with Fernando leading up to the big game.
Yeah, I think for him, it was a matter of, what to expect and all that. And the thing I kept trying to part upon him is, hey, look, man, this game is not going to come down to you making plays or your receivers making plays or your great defensive players. That it's the other guys. It's the other guys on special teams. It's the other guys who are just filling in for a play or two. Those are the guys you have to make sure are ready, ready to play. And it was so funny because in the championship game, they blocked the punt for the touchdown. So after the game, he was like, dude, that was great, man. But I just think, just the awareness of, hey, not just my offensive line and my running backs and my receivers. Yeah, those guys are going to be ready. But everybody else, those guys who only playing a couple plays a game, those are the guys you got to make sure are ready.
Tim, man, before I get to my question, EA was just telling us up here how he used to lock you down at practice.
All the time. Hey, that's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
TV, he didn't practice, man. He can show you anything during the week.
He say, I'm saving my legs.
Yeah.
No, my question, where would you go to help Mendoza out, though? Would you go more defense, build a strong defense? Me and you both play wide receiver, or would you go wide receiver to put a bunch of weapons out there in these next 2 to 4 rounds to put some talent around him out there?
Look, you always want talent, man, but if your talent is wide open and your quarterback is running for his life, it doesn't make a hill of beans, right? So to me, you got to have a solid offensive line, man. When you look at what's been happening here the last couple of years, our quarterback haven't had a chance to make plays for the most part. So if I'm in the war room, I'm looking for some guys up front that can come in and at least be backup players if somebody goes down. Because look, I feel like this: the way football is today, you can get open some kind of way, but that means your quarterback needs time. You look at what Mahomes does and all these other guys, they get a chance to run around for a little bit and see things. And we hadn't had that option at the quarterback position. So I believe if we got a great offensive line or a better offensive line, then we'll be in a position to do that.
Tim, you're in the rare position of also being a Heisman Trophy winner. Not many people can say that. And so when you come into a team, there's a lot of expectations around you as the best player in college football. How did you manage that? What advice would you give to Fernando Mendoza about that?
The same thing Marcus Allen said to me. That is, a Heisman Trophy winner is not a future predictor of NFL success. And you really have to take that to heart. And that means you got to go back to work. What you did in college, you may not be able to do the same things in college, but you may be able to get it done. I mean, the pros, but you may be able to get it done at the same level by doing things a little differently. So I just think that, you can't just say, oh, I was a Heisman Trophy winner, so I'm going to be a great player in the NFL. It doesn't work that way. You got guys who have been dying to get here, and they're ready to shut you down. They're ready to prove you shouldn't have won the Heisman. So I think from that standpoint, you just got to be ready, man, to start this thing anew and get it going.
Yeah. What were some of those first things that you had to adapt to coming out of that great 1988 draft?
That was
coming to the league.
That was insane.
For me, man, I was actually in the wishbone offense in my last year at Notre Dame, so I literally had to go from like the evolution of man, right? Go from all fours to up on 2 feet and releasing. I mean, that was the one thing I told my agent. I need to get to a team where I have time to learn that position because I was basically a running back in college because of a quarterback getting hurt the first game of the year. So for me, man, it was all about that. I felt like I was a talented kid that I had to build and make people miss. I could catch passes. I felt like I could return punts and kicks, for the rest of it for 15, 16 years, which I did for most of my career. So I felt like I was really born to do that. But the receiver position I thought was going to be a little bit more difficult, and I ended up leading the team in receptions that year. James Lofton got hurt, Willie Gault got hurt, but it was only because those guys were out.
Hold on real quick, because I'm drawing the wishbone up right here real quick. I'm drawing the wishbone.
Actually looking.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Tim Brown. Wide receiver, 11. So you mean to tell me in this wishbone formation right here that you can't see, you won the Heisman?
I won the Heisman.
That's a great point.
That's TV was special.
Thank God
TV was special.
Thank God for punt returns and kick returns.
He just said that.
You played wide receiver.
Yes.
And you won the Heisman like this.
No, brother. Put that hand down on the ground. Oh, yeah. We all the way down, bro. We all the way down.
Hey, you the greatest Heisman Trophy winner in the history of the Heisman Trophy, man. I did not know that.
Yeah,
My goodness.
Yeah. Tell them, TB,
that's impressive.
Those punt returns and kick returns, though.
Hey, brother, that was real. That was real. No doubt about it.
That's a great point. I love that point. You had a chance to watch the Raiders last year. We got to see a little bit of some of the other receivers that are still on the roster, the Jack Beshes and Dante Thorntons, who are second-year players now. We didn't get to see a lot of them. What were your thoughts about them? They were what, second and third-round draft picks? I'm just trying to remember. Yeah. They were pretty high up.
I'm trying to figure out what was up. That's when I'm throwing stuff at my TV, that's what I'm saying. Where are these guys? Why are they not showing up? You know what I mean? And look, it's not like you're going to come and lead the league in receptions or whatever, but some kind of showing, you just didn't see that. And I don't blame them. I just don't think they were being put in a position to do that. So, I think that's going to change. I think they're going to get the opportunity, and they got to make plays, man. You have to make plays in this league. That's what it's all about. If you can't make plays, you don't have guys. I was just talking to Spytech. And like I said to him, look, man, you brought in this offseason has probably been the greatest offseason that I know since I've been a part of this organization. However, if these guys don't play, it don't make a hill of beans, man. So, so guys got to make plays, man. If you're not making plays, you're not going to win football games.
I got a question for you because I know you played with Rich Gannon, and I know it was probably plenty of times to where you said, I don't give a dang what the offensive line is doing. Throw the ball over here. Right? I just feel that we need some guys like that for Mendoza to have on this offense. And even if they don't say it, right, because I ain't never said it to Aaron Rodgers, but by the plays I was making, I earned that.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we don't have those guys right now that have really earned that, and that's why I was saying we probably need to go put some more pieces around them.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, look, you're still going to have to bring guys in who are going to have to learn and be ready, especially if you're talking about younger guys coming in. If you can go get a veteran guy, that's something totally different. But yeah, look, everybody should know on 3rd and 4 to 8, the ball is going to Tim Brown. Mm-hmm. What you gonna do?
True.
What you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody should know that. Yeah. Thankfully, I wasn't going against Eric Allen, so I didn't have to worry about it. But other than that, you know what I mean? So everybody, I mean, you have to have that guy where everybody knows, okay, we know the ball is going to Tim. How are we going to stop it? And it's up to Tim and Rich in offense to make sure that doesn't happen. It doesn't get stopped. So I don't think we have that player yet. I think, you know what I mean, these guys are young and they're still trying to build. And hopefully, somebody will stand out this year.
Mm-hmm. Tim, how does Kirk Cousins deal with that situation now, as far as being a veteran and having to help this young guy? Obviously, when we're rookies, we have that vet who's in the room who's kind of helping us out.
Yeah.
So how do you think that relationship is gonna play out?
Look, man, when I was here with James Lofton, right? And James Lofton was my roommate in training camp, and he knew I was here to replace him.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't no secret. I mean, James was 35 years old at the time. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a secret that, he went to, to Buffalo and played for 5 more years or whatever it was. But he knew that I was here. But he did everything in his power to make sure when he left here, I was the best that I could be at that particular point. And I believe Kirk Cousins would be the same. You know what I mean? Kirk has to know, he's not here for the next 10 years. You know what I mean? This kid will be thankful, hopefully. So I think if Kirk is the man that I think he is and the player that I know him to be, I think he'll do what he's supposed to do and make sure that this kid is ready to go when he walks out the door.
Tim, did anybody tell you that in our interview here at Silver Black and Productions with Kirk Cousins, he said that Tim Brown is his favorite Raider of all time, and the reason why
get out of here.
The reason why he knows Autumn Win is because he remembers those NFL Films intros with you playing in those games. So I didn't know if you knew that. I did
not know that.
Yeah, you're his favorite Raider of all time. So now you got to root for.
No doubt about it.
What is your philosophy though when it just comes to rookie quarterbacks in general? Because we were talking about at the beginning of the show. If you look at the top quarterbacks taken in the top 5 over the last couple of years, all of them have started right away. A lot of them did not have the luxury of a Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
What's your philosophy in general with these rookie quarterbacks? It's so different than when you started.
Yeah. Years ago, you would bring these guys in, and they would have to learn a new system, right? They would have to learn a system that they knew nothing about. It wasn't their college system that they were running. That's changed. Now, what as far as I know, what these coaches are doing, they're figuring out, okay, what did you do in college? All right, that's going to be our passing game here. It may not be so in a running game, but passing game, they're trying to put the same system in that these kids had in college. And I think if you can do that, you can get a kid on the field a lot sooner than if you try and bring him in and have him learn something totally different than what he did in college.
Do you think that they should give Fernando Mendoza the number 1 reps with the number 1s at camp?
I don't think that's going to happen on day one, but if he is leaning that way, certainly, let him go. Let him go. I mean, we know what Kirk Cousins is going to be able to do. He's a steady guy. He'll be able to come in and get this thing done. But we're building for the future here, and, the future is now. And so to get him in there as soon as possible is what it's all about.
Well, I think JJ has a motion for that. You want to throw him where? Throw him in there.
Hey, brother.
Find your way. Throw him out there. All right, Tim Brown, it's such an honor to talk to you. Enjoy the festivities, and thanks so much for joining the show.
Hey, thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
All right.
All right. When we come back, we're going to take a break here. We're getting you ready for the second round of the draft. Also, Fernando Mendoza is going to join us on set. But up next is the 2-time NBA All-Star. He hosts Talk of the Nation. Baron Davis, he joins the show. That's next. He's a heck of a point guard, man. That Baltimore bounce, he had it.
I had a dream that someday I would build the finest organization in professional sports.
It really shows the Raider image, and the brand really comes out with it, but it's also a very highly technological room.
We have 59 different video sources we can take in, and then we have 83 feet of screen space. It's about 58 million LEDs in here.
Quay Walker. This is a big-time linebacker. 6'4", 240-something pounds. This is an old-school linebacker who likes to play downhill. We're going to see here right away. I mean, this is the kind of football player that you need when you're talking about stopping the run. Strength to speed is something that people talk about here, and understanding diagnosing the play. Bam! And right here, making a play, you diagnose the play, kind of understand what's going on, and hit and pull the trigger. Right here, bam, pull the trigger. Look at that. Great body control. You love that aspect about Walker. Once you have timing, kind of understanding that body control, being able to dip that shoulder a little bit so that guard can't hit you. You come in, you make a big time play. This shows you his versatility when you're talking about a linebacker middle, being able to cover the middle of the field between those two hash marks. Great job by getting his hands in the pocket. We know you can do some of these kind of things, but what we really want from a linebacker, we want a guy to be physical. Got the hands on the tight end, make the play. We're gonna celebrate a little bit, but these next couple clips, we're gonna show you what Quay Walker is really all about. He wants to play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. He wants to be physical. He's a downhill football player, very excited to be in this defense, being able to creep on the line of scrimmage. Here you come, here you come. Look at this. Again, another linebacker who's gonna be physical, run right over the running back and sack the quarterback. We've seen two guys right now, as far as linebackers we brought in, who are able to rush the quarterback, run through running backs, and make the play because they're so physically strong and gifted. I tell you, I think he's going to do an amazing job just providing that physical presence on the football field. He has been doing this since day one at the University of Georgia. Just great job here. We'll see him again. He's going to creep. He knows what's coming, right? You have to have the timing correct between all of the mud that's going on up front to be able to find your hole. You're going to mug it, and bam, that running back has no chance. 245 pounds going full speed straight ahead. Quay Walker getting it done. Off-ball linebacker. What do you like to see? You like to see a guy playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage, show some patience there in the beginning to make sure to diagnose the play. I think he still has room to grow and even get better. Just the hesitation there, but ability to be able to find his way and get back to the ball carrier in the backfield. You love that aspect about his game. Once again, kind of cheating here. You see the guard stumbles, and now I'm going to make the play because I'm just too fast, too strong, and getting it done every single way. You love this guy's physical presence. You love his versatility. But one thing we know about Quay is he's going to be a guy who plays on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Greatest offseason for a single team in NFL history.
Not only have the #1 overall pick, they have taken every single round of the draft.
Welcome to the dark side, my friend.
Let's go, baby.
Raiders select Ashton Jenkins.
Bowers made the catch. Running, there, reached the 5, touchdown! Over the middle, plucked up in the air, and picked off by Bowers.
The greatness of the Raiders is in its future.
Fernando Mendoza, the #1 pick, is in the building. We're getting ready to talk to him here on the Raiders NFL Draft Live show. That's coming up in just a bit. In a few hours, the Raiders will pick number 36 overall at the top of the second round. So much action here today on this Friday. Keep it right here with us on all the Raiders platforms. We'll keep you informed. But you know a guy who is new to the Raiders family? Well, he's been a Raiders fan, but last year he joined the Silver and Black Productions. He is a 2-time NBA All-Star. The homie, Baron Davis. What's up, Baron?
What's happening? What's happening?
Well, I'll tell you, you get an opportunity to interview the #1 overall pick a little bit later in the evening. What are you going to ask him?
You know what? I have a really good question. I'm going to ask him what pisses him off, right? I want to know. I want to know what gets under his skin. You know, we've seen we know what he brings: positivity, great leadership, but. I think Eric, Eric, I want to know what ticks you off, what drives you, right? What makes you want to, go out there and just destroy the competition. So I want to poke and prod in that direction a little bit.
You want to know what his dark side is. Welcome to the dark side. Now, what is your dark side? We're going to need it out there in some games.
You know what, BD? Right when I was thinking, this dude, an NBA All-Star, man, he shouldn't be asking no football questions. Right when I was thinking that. you basically told me to shut up, because that's a great point. You grew up in L.A. Playing hoop.
Yes.
Knowing that if you didn't have that dog mentality or something that pissed you off, you probably wasn't going to make it up out of there.
Not at all.
I grew up in the Bay Area the same way. And this is football. So all that good stuff before you hit the field and talking the right way and saying the right thing is all cool.
Yeah.
But what is going to take you there when you step in between them lines?
Love the question.
That's a great question. Hey, welcome to the family.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad I finally got your stamp.
You approved, man. I stamped that, man. BD's approved.
Tune into Talk of the Nation, by the way, for the answer to that question. That's going to be on the Raiders platform.
Oh, without a doubt.
I know. I gotta have you on Raiders Talk of the Nation. That's
we haven't been invited.
We didn't have you last year. I need you too, Amber. We gotta mix it up this year.
It's a great time. It's a great time. If you haven't been there, it's a great time.
Yeah, me and he had a blast.
So BD gonna act like he ain't seen all three of us on this show for the last 3 years.
Come on, man, I have. That's why I came over here. That's why I'm here, man.
Yeah, you did a great job last year, my man, and you have the pulse of Raider Nation and that kind of fan base that's also either baseball or basketball. What do you think they're thinking right now that we have Fernando Mendoza?
I tell you what I'm thinking. Look at my hair, it's sticking up. I can't. Look. I mean, my hair I'm so excited. I feel like it's just new energy, right? There's a magnetism to Fernando, and people gravitate towards incredible energy. And so if you look at last year, the rookies we had last year, even though we went through some stuff, there was still, I think at a foundational frequency. Having somebody who comes in with his energy is going to electrify the building. It's going to create this positivity. And I'm just excited to see, him working with the guys, and especially as a rookie. Rookies, their job is to bring the energy every day. Learn, be a sponge. And so I think that's going to be super important, for this season coming up.
Baron, you've been around a lot of rookies, whether it was the NBA or the NFL. Some make it, some don't. The ones that make it, what are the qualities you see very early on, in camp when you're first starting, first couple shoot-arounds? What is the common denominator between the ones that end up making it?
You have to find your comfort zone. You have to find that college player, and you have to take that mentality and implement it into a new speed, new sound, new information. And so as you're coming into the league, you got to get comfortable being yourself. You got to be what the coaches need. But once you get comfortable being yourself, then holes open up. You'll be able to pick off reads, and things feel like college. So I remember when I played basketball, I would try to put myself back into that college mentality where I felt like I was the dominating person, and then try to construct that into what the coach needed in the league. Once I got comfortable my second year in the league, I was, I could do whatever I wanted because I knew what was coming. And I think that's going to be the same thing for any rookie. Learn, study, get comfortable, then get comfortable being who you are.
I love it. Just so you know, I was a walking bucket too.
Okay.
Back in my days, when my knees was good.
You know what? I've seen his jump shot. There ain't no jump in the jump shot. It's a flick of a wrist.
Flick of the wrist.
He has the most flat-footed jump shot. It's a flat-foot shot that you've ever seen.
Hey.
But hey, it went in.
Hey, flick of the wrist. That's all it takes.
That's all you need. That's all, good wrist action. That's it.
Because you were a young player before, you were a veteran before. But the most important thing, you were a point guard. A point guard is the quarterback of the team. So as a young player being the point guard, what's some of the pressure that you put on yourself to get everybody involved, or what's some of the things that you kind of film study, whatever, man, hey, as a point guard of this team, as a quarterback of this team, this is what I got to do?
Tendencies. Everybody on your team, you got to know everybody's strengths and weaknesses off the jump. Right, and I think it's tendencies. As a rookie, as a point guard, you want to figure out, how do I put my guys in a situation to be great every time? What do they do at their highest peak? Where do we shy away from? Where do we hide some of those deficiencies? And I think that, and then off the court, in the film room, after practice, getting to know your players. Personality means a lot, because you're going to have to talk to different people different ways. And that's what a point guard does, because you can't talk and get the results by yelling at someone who doesn't want to be yelled at, right? You have to figure out personality-wise how everybody, prepares for the game. And so if you can strike that chord and motivate and be the guy that motivates your guys, talk to your guys, you are the rallying point. So as a point guard, get to know learn your teammates as you're learning yourself. The more you learn your teammates, the better you'll become as a quarterback.
Yeah, let's follow up on that. How long did it take you as a point guard, quarterback, to be able to have that kind of leadership?
Funny enough, I sat on the bench my rookie year, and I'm still mad about it. They say you learn a lot sitting on the bench.
No,
I came off the bench. I came off the bench.
You didn't get better on the bench.
I played 15 minutes a game. I don't think I got better coming off the bench, but I learned a lot. And I think that next year I just came in and, it didn't matter how old I was and who was the oldest and the vet. I came in with a mentality hey, I'm going to be the voice that leads this team.
I don't know if you know this. You got 3 other hoopers up here.
Oh, Amber, I know you hoop.
I know. I was a point guard, but I'll let you play point guard on our Silver and Black Productions team that I'm going to try to form. But there's only 4 of us.
He just said he came off the bench. He coming off the bench.
I think we can do it. I just got a brand new hip. JJ lost 10 pounds. EA looks like he could play right now. He's still hooping out there.
Eric look good, man. Eric look like he can get down right now.
I'm not there today. I'm here.
Who's gonna be our 5th man? We need somebody else.
At our Y, we only play 4.
Oh, you only play 4 at the Y?
So we're good.
4 on 4. Yeah.
Oh, we're going with the 4 on 4.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't. The extra person, we need them to sub in. So that 5th person, we need to have a rotational sub.
Let's stop that right here. My hamstrings ain't built for 4 on 4. That means you got to guard every time down, right?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Baron, tell me just a little bit about what you think happens next. We're getting ready to start the 2nd round, and the Raiders have only made 1 draft pick. They got 9 more draft picks to go. If you are the GM, if you're John Spytek, what position, where are you going from here?
For me, I'm going best available. You have, looking at the 1st round, there were so many, I would say, unpredictable picks that it kind of bumped a bunch of guys to the 2nd round that could be, great picks for the Raiders. You think of Caden McDaniel. You think of McNeil, this safety. So I would definitely go towards the defense, but I also like, a lot of these wide receivers are still available, right? So you look at Denzel Boston, someone like him. I like him. Or I would go back to the line. 3rd round, though, when I'm looking at 3rd or 4th round, I want to go tight end again. I think that there's some really good receiving tight ends that may slip and fall. And I think that would be just a good compliment. Brock was out a good portion of the season, and we need, I think more tight ends the better, more weapons that we have that can block and also catch and create those mismatches. So I think Caden McDaniel, I like him a lot.
Yeah.
And then probably get a cornerback. I think we need receiver, cornerback, defensive tackle.
He's on it.
Hey, you on it?
He's on it, man.
I do NFL simulator like every day. Every day, yeah. Yeah, I've been dialed in. I've been pretty dialed in.
You know what? I do have to point out, though, you were the guy that defended the Baltimore bounce to JJ. He wasn't feeling it. You said, you know what? No. Who was it? Was it Allen Iverson that brought that to you? Because bringing it from D.C. and Georgetown?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said you Cali boys weren't doing that at the time.
No, we stole that. We had to steal it. We had to steal the D.C. crossover. It's like a little, it's like a little dance the way they do it.
Really quick, what are you most looking forward to for the rest of the night? You're going to be down there for the party.
Yeah, I get to interview Fernando Mendoza, so I'm excited about introducing him to Raider Nation. The Festival of Football is going to be great. It's for fans. Eric is going to be here.
You going down there, EA?
He's my favorite person.
I didn't know you got down there. You got invited.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe Eric will come up. Maybe James will show up.
You guys going down there?
Maybe James, maybe Eric.
I didn't get
But
all right, don't be like JJ. Don't be like JJ and eat all the food from the party before the party starts. He just came back up here with a plate of Twinkies, and we didn't know where they came from.
JJ got them dance moves too. He a real one. He's a real one.
He's a real one. All right, Baron Davis, thanks so much. Coming up next, we got Fernando Mendoza press conference. He's taking the podium. Stick with us.
Right now at Allegiant Stadium, high schools across the valley going head-to-head for the state championship.
Going on the NFL where the Raiders are signing quarterback Kirk Cousins.
Hey guys, how you doing? Hey guys. It's been a great couple of days. Excited to be with the coaching staff and be with this group of guys, and just feel really good about this group and about the chance to play here and be a part of the Silver and Black.
What a studio, wow. I didn't see this on my tour earlier today.
Raiders.
Thank you.
Does it feel good to have the silver and black on?
It does. It's such an iconic logo, iconic jerseys, so to get to be a part of it is a real privilege for me.
I love it, man. Matter of fact, when I walked in the locker room, I thought I was going to start crying.
It's fantastic. It's a beautiful stadium.
Congratulate Fernando Mendoza, his family, and the Raiders on this historic pick. I can assure you, no one will prepare more thoroughly to be the best he can be and make the Raiders successful like Fernando. Congrats again.
Fernando Mendoza, from a Carrollton, Miami girl to a Columbus, Miami boy, I just want to say congratulations on joining the Raiders. I'm a fan, and I can't wait to watch what you do next. I know it's going to be great. Let's go!
Fernando Mendoza, #1, man. Congratulations. This is Tyler Cameron. You have now made me a Raiders fan. It has been such a joy to watch you play, to watch you lead, to become a champion, to become a Heisman winner. The example you set for up-and-coming athletes. I wish I had that growing up and had that to look up to. Love watching you, love cheering you on, and now, go Raiders.
There was something in the draft tonight. You're going #1. Congrats, Fernando. I'm so excited for you, so proud of you. Man, this is just the beginning. I know you're going to crush it.
Hey, Peaky Boo, just playing. What's up, homies? It's me, Creep Ray from Cholo Fi. Hey, I want to give a big congratulations and warm welcome to the #1 pick, Fernando Mendoza. Welcome to the Nacion, homie, the Raider Nation. Actually, you're like 6'5", homie, so you're way up there because I'm a little homie. So, hey, congratulations y bienvenidos a los Raiders, homie. So keep doing your thing and representing. That's what's up. We got him, homie, Fernando Mendoza. Raiders. Y que vivan los Raiders. Respectfully.
It's an exciting time to be a member of Raider Nation. All the celebrities are looking forward to meeting Fernando Mendoza. The best thing about Allegiant Stadium is when you go to a home Raiders game, every celebrity is out there, and it seems like they're all Raiders fans.
That's right. Sure.
It's so much fun to be out there. But when we look ahead to the draft, and by the way, we're getting ready for Fernando Mendoza. We're told he's eating because apparently he has to eat before a press conference because he's a human and he's had quite a heck of a 24 hours.
Absolutely.
So let's let the guy eat. And we got a great cafeteria. So he's probably getting that good salmon, and then he's going to head over to do his press conference. You can see the media there waiting here at HQ, getting ready for Fernando Mendoza. We're going to take you live as soon as he takes the podium. But we're getting you also ready for his live interview with us. He's going to come right up to our set. Can't wait to meet the young man. We're getting ready for the second round of the draft as well. The draft is just beginning now for the Raiders. They have 9 more picks. And everybody talks about offensive line. Now that you have your quarterback, you have to protect him. We just heard Tim Brown say that. He said hill of beans, right? It doesn't matter. Hill of beans unless you've got a good offensive line and can protect him. This concerns me, though. There was 9 offensive linemen taken yesterday in the first round. There was about 6 slated in mock drafts. 9 went. That means a lot of the second round grades got overdrafted according to some experts. Right. Now when you look at what's available, and I'm looking at Daniel Jeremiah, our good friend from NFL Media, his list of the top 20 players still available, there's not one offensive lineman in his top 20 left.
Yeah.
So where do the Raiders go?
So that's an issue. So obviously, I don't think you take a guard in the first round. And Daniel may not have guards the rest of the way. So that tends to be, if you're going to go interior, like we were talking about yesterday, maybe you go defensive tackle right now, or obviously Boston receiver-wise from the UW. So those are the things. I think you go either interior defensive line to help with the new style of defense we're running, or you put some competition in that receiver room. Yes. Obviously we've got Jack Best, you've got Dante Thornton, but you need some guys who are going to have that alpha spirit like we've been talking about in the receiver room. And then cornerback-wise, I think, again, it's about competition. You have someone on our team who's been able to have a good rookie season. And you have to find a way to get that to be able to be a starter, a guy who can lock it down. He has great size, 6'2.5", runs a 4.3, has all those kind of measurables, but we need to find someone who's going to be able to lock down one side of the football field and get your interceptions.
I agree.
For me, I would love to see some trades happening.
Okay.
Jaden Daniels, Scary Terry, #1 wide receiver. Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, Roma Doomsday, right?
Yep.
Young players need a big-time playmaker. Quarterbacks need a big-time playmaker. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, whoever it may be, they need a big-time playmaker.
Who do you like?
The Eagles, none of them. The Eagles.
He's got it. He got his own Fernando Mendoza's receivers available.
And ain't none of them better than the dude that I'm about to say.
Okay. I didn't mean to
so
cut you off,
the
JJ.
Eagles just traded up for Mekhi Lemon, and they traded to the Packers for Dontavius Wicks.
I know where you're going with this.
Use some of these 3rd and 4th round picks, and it might even take another young receiver, and go trade and get A.J.
Brown. I knew you were going
and
there.
And put him next to Mendoza for the next 3 to 4 years to help this young fella develop. When a quarterback looks in the huddle and he don't know how you going to run it, He don't know how you gonna run it. He don't know if you gonna make it. He don't know if you gonna make it. We all know A.J. Brown gonna make the play. Don't need a lot of separation. Don't need none of that. I would like to see some trades and go get this dude a big-time #1 wide receiver. Now, you can plug and play guards.
Yeah. When you're dealing, and I think now that we're looking at the roster, we have some young offensive linemen, and it may be about execution, it may be about development, that they feel like last year the coaching staff didn't develop those young offensive linemen, because we have a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And Colton coming back, and we have a great center right now. So I think that's a great, when you're dealing with the Philadelphia Eagles, you have to be on point. They are probably one of the best, as far as roster builders that ever. And
Howard don't play.
Huh?
Howard don't play. Howard Roseman's going to get his worth for A.J. Brown, so it's going to cost.
Right, it's going to cost. So you know what they love. They love edge rushers.
Yeah.
They love interior linemen. And so if we have someone on our football team that looks like, hey, you can go over and help their football team, then that's going to, they want a player who can play right now also.
No doubt. But then again, with Howie, you can't go into the season with what you got right now. No. Everybody will go crazy. He was already reading books. And now you bring a Mekhi Lemon in there, who's a first-round pick that has to play. You already got Smitty. You traded for Wicks and gave him $15 million. These dudes have to play. So to be honest with you, I don't really think he has a lot of options. I don't. I think Howie is going to have to deal him for maybe something less than he thought he was going to get now, adding these dudes to the puzzle. Yeah. We got some picks. We want AJ.
Yeah.
Y'all take some of these picks.
You got to have a player. You got to have a player, I think, if you're talking about the Eagles.
JJ brings up a good point, because when you look at this offense, they don't have that veteran guy. No. I mean, Tyler Linderbaum is the veteran, and he's new to the team, right? Yeah. He's the veteran, and he's a center. Usually you have the quarterback, the wideout, running back, somebody. All right, we're hearing right now that Fernando Mendoza is coming to the podium. Let's go live out to the press conference. You see him walking up. We'll turn it over to John Spytek, Fernando Mendoza, and the Raiders.
I'd like to welcome everyone to this afternoon's press conference. At the dais, we have the #1 overall draft pick, Fernando Mendoza, General Manager John Spytek, and Head Coach Clint Kubiak. We'll begin with some opening remarks from Mr. Spytek, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Okay. I want to thank everybody for coming this afternoon to an exciting day for the Raiders organization and the Las Vegas community. The long mystery has finally been solved. We got our guy here. And just want to thank everybody that was a part of this process in this building to arrive to this selection of Fernando. Was not a coronation. He earned it every bit of the way with his play and the way that he conducted himself in all of our one-on-one interactions during the draft process. So we're thrilled to welcome Fernando to Las Vegas. To have his family here today is really special. I hope it's been a special 24-ish hours for them. I know it's been a whirlwind, but we are thrilled to welcome Fernando Mendoza to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay, at this time we'll open up for questions from the media. We have microphones in both aisles. Please raise your hand and state your name and affiliation.
Adam Hill, Las Vegas Review-Journal. Fernando, it's been a long process. You talked about that, the college season, the draft process. Now you're actually here. Does it kind of feel more real now that you're in the building and part of the team? And then the second part, did you have to apologize to your brother for snubbing him with the high five after the draft?
Yeah, first of all, with my brother, we actually had two kind of post celebrations when we got the call, and then when the pick went in, saw your name on TV. But, I apologize to him, and he knows I love him, so I hit him with a dap and a hug afterwards. And there's a lot of anticipation coming to this pick, but now I'm really glad that all the outside noise is done. I'm officially a Raider. I'm excited to be humble and hungry and get to work.
For Fernando, Ryan McFadden from ESPN. My question for you, I read that you trained with Brian Griese ahead of the draft. I was curious, what kind of led to that, and what was it like working with him?
Yeah, Coach Griese is a great guy, and we both went to the same high school, Christopher Columbus, down in Miami, Florida. And with him is someone that I reached out to because I needed some guidance on how to become the best NFL quarterback, not just for a pro day or the combine, for September whatever it is, in October, December, just whenever, to be an NFL quarterback. And with that, we just went over some general under center concepts and just installed basic bread and butter concepts that any team would have. So it was great working with him, and he kind of gave me an adjustment because he's been an NFL quarterback coach in the past.
Fernando Carpenter on SI. You and I were laughing at the combine about you being an unemployed college kid. You're now a first-round selection with a $55 million guaranteed deal that's coming on the table. Has the enormity of the responsibility and the blessing hit you yet?
Yeah, it's a huge blessing. However, I feel like I still need to earn it, and I haven't proved anything. My college career was very blessed, and it was a great, very significant career. However, in the NFL, I'm on the bottom of the totem pole again, so I'm really looking forward to proving it every single day to everybody in the building.
Fernando, Ezekiel Trezevant on SI. You mentioned yesterday that you had been looking into the West Coast offense. I'm curious what part of the West Coast offense or what part of your game are you looking forward to improving the most?
I think the part of the West Coast offense that I found the most interesting was the run tracks, and especially how important that is off the system of making sure you're on the right track for outside zone, getting the ball as deepest as possible to the running back so you can have the best vision possible, which then helps out the offensive line. And I'm always just trying to do my 1/11th. In the offense, I believe it allows the quarterback to be a great point guard, and it's such a great scheme that Coach Kubiak has. And I just want to do my 1/11th, whether it's handing the ball off, throwing, making a check, whatever, maybe.
Las Vegas Review-Journal. I was curious as how much familiarity, do you have with Kirk Cousins and his career, and what are you hoping to learn from him?
Yeah, I was blessed. This morning and last night, I was able to get a text from a couple of guys like Max Crosby, Tyler Linderbaum, Colton Miller, and Kirk Cousins. And I'm sure there's been more. I'm looking forward to reaching out to all my new teammates and most of those guys. It's been a whirlwind in the past couple of hours. But Kirk sent me a really nice text. I'm looking forward to working with him, learning anything I can from him, and just a great, not only teammates that I'm able to learn from, but also the great coaches.
Clint, Ed Graney Review-Journal. John talked about last night the offense and how he fits. When you watch tape and everything, where does his skill set fit? Where do you like him most in your offense?
Yeah, well, his skill set fits with any offense in professional football. You know, obviously, the number one thing that I love about Fernando is his leadership, the way that he relates to his teammates, and his ability to win. You know, we're looking for a competitor to be our quarterback, and he's got, he went 16-0 last year with a heck of a team, and he led that group. So, love his athleticism, his ability to throw accurately down the field. He's very accurate, but at the end of the day, he's a bright, intelligent leader.
Harry Ruiz with the Spanish Radio broadcast for the Raiders. Fernando, what does the responsibility of being a Raider mean to you when you look to your left and you got Jim Plunkett, the last man to win the Super Bowl as the quarterback for the team, and to your right you got Fred Biletnikoff, the first Super Bowl MVP in the history of the franchise, and then you got the Vince Lombardi trophies right in front of you as well?
It's a huge responsibility, but it's also a huge honor to honor the legacy. The Raiders are a cornerstone franchise and one of the faces of the NFL. And I feel like, again, I need to prove it and earn it every single day. If I, wear number 15 this year, whether or not that happens, I mean, Tom Flores was able to coach and win 2 Super Bowls and also wear number 15 as a quarterback. He has cemented that number. So I feel like every corner you turn, you see, Mr. Plunkett, Mr. Brown, Mr. Allen, like everybody, Mr. Biletnikoff, and I really appreciate all the legends coming out here today. It means so much to see the alumni and really shows what a first-class organization this is. So I'm stoked and ready to prove it.
Hey, Fernando, to your left, Omar Ruiz, NFL Network. We know you're a planner, you're a preparer in everything you do. Going back to your teammates, what's the sort of plan to connect with the guys kind of once you get into the locker room here with the Raiders?
Yeah, I think it's familiarity, and especially as a rookie, nothing's given. And my belief is that everything is earned. So I'm going to come in humble, try to establish myself as, with my work ethic and lead by example. But at the end of the day, it's all great saying these words, but I got to do it. And so I'm looking forward to connecting with them, and I'm just excited to learn from them as well and care about them as people.
Fernando, Mark Anderson, AP. You're starting this fund. Can you just talk about what that means to you? The Fight MS?
Oh, sorry, yeah. Yeah, it's great. My mom's there in the back. Can't thank her enough for everything. So we started the Mendoza Family Fund, which we were able to get a good donation to. Starting off, I've been blessed in my journey, and I believe one of my pillars and my identities is giving back and helping fighting MS, giving the community. So that was a huge part of my identity and something that our family really wanted to do.
Daniel Ramírez, Telemundo Las Vegas. Primero que nada, Fernando, felicidades, bienvenido. Al hablar con los aficionados en los últimos meses, algo que sobresale es el orgullo de la representación que llega al equipo. Algo que ha sobresalido en la anticipación a llegar a los Raiders de esta franquicia y el orgullo latino que existe en la historia de los Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, the history of the Raiders, especially the Hispanic history, is like no other. I believe it's probably the most the Hispanic fan base and legends like Mr. Plunkett, like Mr. Flores. I mean, all those legendary Hispanic idols and cornerstones in the franchise. It means a lot as a Cuban American to come to this franchise and help try to carry the torch. But again, I got to prove it. I'm really looking forward to connecting with the Hispanic community here.
Levi Edwards, Raiders.com. You were talking about the alumni presence, and you obviously walk in and you see 3 Heismans when you walk in, coming off of a Heisman Trophy win. How did that feel? And also the sense of that pressure of winning the Heisman Trophy. Does that include, is that added coming into the NFL team, or is it not anything you really think about?
Yeah, I think it was in the last chapter. It was a great chapter, and don't get me wrong, the Heisman's an awesome trophy. And I'm really happy that I won it. However, not I won it, the team won it, the Indiana team won it. But that's in the past chapter. But there's a great history of Heisman Trophy winners here in that for the Raiders. I think there's around 9 to 11 in the total history. So that commitment to excellence that goes not only from the college but also to the NFL level is shown by all the Heisman Trophy winners here. I'm lucky to be a part of it.
Antonio Favela, Univisión. Teniendo la oportunidad de jugar para un equipo tan latino, por su afición, ¿qué tan importante es para ti ser latino? Y saber si entiendes bien el español y si hablas un poquito o puedes hacer un esfuerzo o solamente lo entiendes.
Well, I definitely understand it. I would say I am really confident in my understanding ability. For example, like, to repeat back what you said. Speaking it, I still need to get better on. I need to learn every single part of my journey. But I would say, but I will say I'm working on learning my Spanish back end. It was my first language. But being Hispanic is everything to me. I believe culture is a thing that sets a person and their identity. And I'm lucky enough to be raised by 4 Cuban American grandparents, and my parents also instilling the Cuban culture in me. So it means a lot to be a part of this Hispanic community. Looking forward to embracing it at every moment I can.
Fernando here in the middle, Jesse Merrick with Silver and Black Sports Network. I remember hearing you in some interviews talking about when you were looking about where you wanted to transfer, about your brother at Indiana and how he was learning and developing in terms of reading defenses and stuff like that at a kind of a different level. I'm curious now in hindsight, in that area, what you really took away that think prepared you the most for this job now with the Raiders.
I think it's the ability to get coached. The ability to get coached and always come in with a low ego and be open to new coaching. And that was a big thing at California. It was a successful season, but coming to Indiana, I realized I had so much more to learn. And I always want to have exponential growth every single year. And that is made by the process, the work ethic, and the inputs I do every single day. And this is going to be a whole new chapter, and I have so much more to grow, and I know my best football is ahead of me. So I'm really excited for the opportunity.
Hey, Fernando. Sam Warren with Athletic. You were just talking about the legacy of the Raiders. This team has struggled in recent seasons, had 4 straight losing seasons. Does the challenge of kind of restoring that legacy and bringing success back to this franchise kind of like excite you?
Well, I'm just looking forward to doing my 111th. Every single play, every single game, every single season. So I'm just really honored to be a part of such a historic franchise and looking forward to being a small part of the success in the future.
Hey, Fernando, welcome. Taylor Rocha with KTNV. Yesterday, you said that you were emotional all day. You had to tell yourself to hold it in. And then what really broke you was when your mom told you that she was proud of you. Just why was that? And what does it mean for you to have her in the building with you here today?
It means a lot. Family's everything. And I think it's the motto of the Raiders. Once a Raider, always a Raider. And it means a lot to have my family by my side, whether it's in Miami or here in Las Vegas. I'm ecstatic to be a part of it. There's a lot of emotion, especially as a young kid always wanted to play in the NFL. And, finally getting that call, there's going to be a lot of emotions, but it's not about just making the NFL. It's not the finish line. It's about playing well in the NFL, lasting long in the NFL, and making an impact in the NFL. So with the support of my family, new teammates, and coaches, I'm looking forward to do that.
Hey, Fernando. Kevin Bollinger, Fox 5, Las Vegas. We often ask John and Clint their impressions about players through the draft process. What was your impression of the Raiders organization as you went through the draft process?
Well, I'll say it was top-notch. When I came to my top 30 visit, I was blown away with everybody in the building, top to bottom. You can see for sure a trickle-down effect where everyone's first class. Everyone's first class, and that starts with Coach Kubiak, Mr. Spytek, Mr. Davis, all the other owners. I'm really excited to be a part of this organization and its professionalism and the way that it's detailed-oriented, how they're going to give incredible effort, and just the process.
Castro, News 3. Welcome to Las Vegas.
Thank you.
You and your mom's relationship is so beautiful, and you've mentioned that she's your why. Is there a memory you have during a hard time where she pushed you, or a conversation you guys had to keep following this dream that you're now living out?
Yeah, it was at my third season, after my third season at Berkeley or Cal. I had just graduated, and at that point, my mom always saw more me than I saw myself at that time. And she essentially pushed me to take a swing at trying to become a great NFL player. And that first step was transferring and challenging myself, being in an uncomfortable environment, because when you're uncomfortable, you're able to grow. And me stepping to the plate, and she said, hey, if you step to the plate, if you swing and you miss, at least in 20 years, you knew you did everything possible to try to accomplish your dream. And I stepped to the plate, and luckily enough, I was able to hit a home run last year. So she taught me to have unwavering optimism, and that fortune favors the bold. And you gotta have unwavering optimism to believe in yourself and then achieve those goals.
We're gonna wrap it up with Case, Lindsay, and Harry.
Hey, Fernando. Case Kiefer, Las Vegas Sun. We just heard Clint talk about how impressed he was with your leadership in the 16-0 season. John said something similar last night. I'm guessing that couldn't have been easy, showing up in a new place and doing that. What was the hardest part about that, and what did you learn out of that experience that you can bring to the Raiders as a rookie?
Well, I think the great thing about Indiana last year and Las Vegas Raiders this year is I'm showing up to a new place with fantastic leaders in every corner of the building, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, coaches, operations, owners, every corner there's fantastic leaders, and I'm excited to be a part of that and learn from those leaders. And that's what I did at Indiana. I stepped in there, tried to have the lowest ego possible, work my butt off, and earn it, because I believe that leadership is earned, it's not given. And so I look forward to learning from all the fantastic people in this organization, and hopefully one day becoming a good leader.
Lindsay Theory with ESPN. Clint, was there a time through the process that you just knew for certain that Fernando was your guy, whether that be, watching him, observing him at one of the pro day or an interaction that you had with him?
Yeah, when we went to the pro day and we got to see Fernando throw live and the way he ran that pro day, and he, bossed his teammates around, told them what route they were running and how accurately he threw the ball, obviously his stature, and then took him upstairs and talked football with him and just, listen to him communicate the game and how quickly he picked things up. Very liked how he played the game on film, but seeing him in person was really helpful and allowed us to watch film on a lot of other guys. We knew we had the guy.
Fernando, you played at two schools, Berkeley and Indiana, but you actually played in 3 different conferences. How much did that help you in the process to become a pro, being in 3 different styles with the Pac-12, ACC, and the Big Ten?
Yeah, not only did I play in 3 different conferences, all 4 years of college I've had a new system. I think it's been a great opportunity to learn every single year, rather than find myself comfortable. Evidently, every quarterback and every coach wants to be in a system for a long time so they can grow in the system. But that change, whether it's conference, systems, it gave me an opportunity to learn, grow, and establish a process on how to learn new systems, which I'm looking forward to using in this and looking forward to taking all the coaching I can. And I just feel like it's made me a versatile player that I can adapt to new game plan plays, new systems. I'm just really excited to learn.
Great. Thank you, gentlemen. That concludes our press conference. Photographers, please approach the front. We'll have a quick photo opportunity.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you guys for coming.
You want us up here too?
Stick around, more to come. Fernando Mendoza making his way up to our set. You don't want to go anywhere. The Raiders NFL Draft Live show continues.
Raider Nation, we got us one. Nakobe Dean, he's a red dot, 3-down linebacker. Off ball, but he can get after the quarterback. When we usually blitz, we're in a mug. So that means the linebacker comes up. He's just coming from depth, running right over you, not putting any moves on you. We love that physical presence of our defense, because that's what we want our teams to be. We want to be physical on first and second down. When we send our linebackers, this is what we want. No running around, just great job there. That's how you rough up a running back on a blitz. He can do a little bit of everything. That's why I call him the 3-down guy. As we see here, we see the Charger end spread. They're in 11 personnel. And again, we have this creeping linebacker. Now he's in the mud look, and we know Justin's a pretty big guy. Handles him with ease. Does an amazing job here of getting a fumble again. So that shows you his awareness of the ball. And that's what we like. We need to take the ball away. Another great job by being physical and strong at the blitzing situation. And those kind of linebacker dogs, we're going to call on. And we're going to have, those sets where you're going to be off ball. You're going to be able to roam around a little bit and kind of time it up. So that shows you his rhythm and vibe of the game. He's right there in that gap, and that running back is supposed to take him. Another great job of providing a sack with the strip there here against those Minnesota Vikings. And when we talk about 3-down guys, we're talking about someone who can drop in coverage, someone who can hit the gaps like this, play behind the line of scrimmage, being so athletic and really, really forcing the defense to be able to find ways to create opportunities for a guy like this, adjusting and now hits the gap, shows enough speed there. That's that great spark that you have to be successful at linebacker, being able to roam around, your lineman doing a great job of keeping those guys off front, you're adjusting to the sweep, kind of understanding what's going on. That's textbook tackle from a middle linebacker right there. Got a spread set, and hey, one of the best running backs in the game. This is another part, you're on 3rd down, you gotta drop it to your zone, but you have to make an open field tackle. That's right, let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. Toby Dean does an amazing job by getting in your drop, getting your eyes back to where, and then really doing a good job of having that field kind of general sense of where that running back is going to catch the ball and find a way to get that open field tackles. Nakobe Dean getting it done, all 3 downs.
A 702 or 720 number, and like Nevada, I looked at my dad, and I think he could see like the look in my face, like I wasn't joking.
Hey Dante, John Spytek in Las Vegas. How you doing, my friend?
How you doing?
You know we love speed here, don't you?
Yes, sir.
You bring that speed to Vegas, be a Raider with us?
I got to, definitely. The moment was surreal for me. Then I told everybody, then they go on the TV.
And with the pick 108 in the 2025 NFL Draft, Las Vegas Raiders select Dante Thornton, wide receiver from Tennessee.
My mom right next to me, she crying, everybody happy for me, so it was a great feeling for sure. That was like the one moment where I felt like how I talked about like making the younger me proud. I felt that inside of me that's what it was. So it's a crazy process, just ups and downs of hearing where you might go, when you're gonna go. It was a great experience because it was a dream come true for me, but it was definitely a tricky one.
Welcome to Pink Box. Raiders fan, huh?
Raiders.
We've got your picks.
Look at that one. That's the pick, baby.
Hello? Fernando.
How you doing?
John Spytek, how you doing?
I appreciate you calling.
We're going to be thrilled to make you the first pick in the draft here and welcome you to the dark side, my
Thank you
friend.
so much.
So
Thank you so much. Can't wait to prove it,
yeah, I know you'll do it. And, this is an acknowledgement of what a great college player you've been, but a bigger statement on the belief that we have in you that you're the right guy to lead this franchise going forward. And, every step of the way you've been exactly what we're looking for and what this franchise needs. And we are so excited to welcome you to Las Vegas and can't wait to get you out here tomorrow. But enjoy the party and the celebration with your family tonight. You certainly earned it. And we'll see you real soon. But there's a lot of hard work There's going to be tough times and challenging times ahead, but we know you're up for it, and you're going to be awesome here.
Thank you. Can't wait to the reward.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to pass you over to Coach Kubiak, but again, enjoy the night. Congratulations. We're super proud of you, and big things to come, okay? We need your best.
Sir, love it.
Hey, Fernando. What's up, man? Coach Kubiak
How
here.
you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well. Hey, congratulations. Really excited for you, okay? Now, it's going to be a lot of people telling you a lot of great things tonight, and you earned all those things. But just remember, man, when you get here, be humble and be ready to go to work, all right? You got to go earn a job like everybody else, all right?
Yeah, I'm
All right,
excited to
man.
get to work. Can't wait to learn.
You earned this, man. You deserve this, all right? Now just come here and be yourself. Sound good?
Will do. Thank you so
All
much
right.
again.
All right,
Can't
congratulations.
wait to prove it.
You got it, man.
Thank you again. Bye.
With the first pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana.
Here he is, the man of the hour, Fernando Mendoza, the
yeah.
number 1 overall pick in the 2026 draft.
The hat
is
was already
now-
creased, too.
It was
I like
already
that.
creased.
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
Nice little brim. He good to go.
Well, how does it feel? You walked in to balconies of people cheering for you. You look and you see Tim Brown, Eric Allen. You're seeing these Hall of Famers, Jim Plunkett, Raider greats are here. What was your feeling the moment you walked through the doors here at the facility?
Well, when I walked through the facility, it was just such a blessing to see all the Raider legends themselves, Hall of Famers, former Heisman Trophy winners. Every corner you turn in the facility, it's a new Raider legend or new someone that you're trying to pinch yourself.
Yeah.
I'm just so blessed for the opportunity, and it shows what a first-class organization this is. The support, whether it's the alumni, the coaching staff, the teammates, everyone that's reached out, I'm so happy to be a part of it.
Yeah. You know, you should feel real, real special because JJ don't go to the balcony for too many people.
He was like a little kid with his phone. Is it coming? Is it coming?
I came out there and I, took a little video of the kid coming. But one thing I did see, man, that kind of stood out to me, man, was your attention to detail. Okay. Because you walked in and you seen that shield and you said, oh, shoot. So can you take us through that moment right there? 'Cause you didn't want to get down and do no push-ups, but you knew you can't step on that shield.
Yeah, especially as a rookie, you're trying to limit rookie mistakes.
There you go.
And in the top 30, they said no stepping on the shield. And that's always been a big thing. So once I saw the shield, I was so overjoyed.
Right.
And I almost blacked out at that point. I had to see the shield.
Right,
And my senses, my spidey senses came back to me.
There you go.
Maybe a couple inches away from it.
There you go. But what I like is your eyes. They didn't go down. You're still able to see the defense, and still step off.
Yeah.
Good job, man.
You need to be able to evade and step up in the pocket.
Yes.
Although we have a great offensive line, so that's not a problem. But, keeping the eyes on the field so I can throw it to the playmakers.
Yeah. One question I have who was your compass? I mean, when I was young and playing football, either Cliff Branch or Marcus Allen, who grew up in San Diego, was like my compass. Like, that's kind of how I want to play the game. Who was your compass throughout this time?
Well, funny enough, my compass was Tom Brady. He's a minority owner here, which is fantastic. And it's what a dream come true. I'm going to try to absorb every single resource and intelligence that football intelligence that he's willing to give up to me and take it into my own game. And we're not this, I have a lot to learn and a long way to go. And everyone's a different player, but looking forward to taking all the nuggets I can from him.
Right.
And the reason I loved him and watched him so much is because of attention to detail, how intentional he was with everything.
Yeah.
Whether it was a bad play in a bad coverage, he didn't run it. He checked it. He knew. He was very cerebral. His leadership, whether it was down 28-3 against the Falcons, throughout his entire career, leadership and culture is always at the forefront of successful organizations.
Okay.
And then number 3 is the way he was accurate and the way that he just played the game. The way he played the game, the way that he was always going to be the point guard on the field. He was going to make sure that he got his playmakers the balls, he can help his offensive line, help his defense, and let the other guy shine.
Yeah, I'm going to follow up with that. What would you have done in the fog that day in 2002 when Tom Brady playing the He don't even know. He like,
Come on, man.
Well, as a Raider now, definitely a fumble.
There you go. That's what we need.
Like, I don't want to, I'm a Raider.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
also don't want to, piss off any owners.
That's all right. That's all right. It was a fumble. Tom knows a fumble too.
Yeah. We sat here yesterday.
He's admitted it before.
Yeah.
He's admitted it before.
There you go. He'll be honest with you about it. We sat here and we listed, I went through game by game where things didn't go your way at the end of your college career, whether it was Iowa, Oregon, Penn State, Miami, where, you get hit in the mouth, Ohio State, you get hit in the mouth, and then you came back. Where did that toughness come from in you?
Yeah, the toughness came from my parents, and especially my mom. My mom struggles with multiple sclerosis, and where she's essentially paralyzed, but seeing her have a smile on her face every single day means the world to me, and it doesn't allow me an excuse to have a bad day, bad practice, bad game. Because when I see her there fighting, it inspires me, and it gives me this unwavering optimism where no matter what happens, whatever resilient bump or bump in the road happens, I know instead of falling down, I'm just going to catapult off of that 100%. And learn from them and get better.
100%.
Oh, you got me. As a mom, you just got me, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. We all love our mamas, man, so you know what I mean? Kudos to you. I had a chance to play with Brett Favre.
Yeah.
I had a chance to play with Aaron Rodgers. Really good leaders. And I got on here with number 4. You see my notes? Well, get on your get on your head. I got on here, number 12. We'll slap the shit. And the main reason why I say that is, what kind of leader are you? Because these dudes playing with these, they weren't worried about you, my friend, EA. Gotta do your job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you do your job, we're gonna win. I'm gonna make sure you're gonna do your job because I'm gonna stay on you. I'm the leader of this team. You are a very humble kid. This your team, dog. Whether you like it or not right now, this is your team walking into the building. You know what I'm saying? So what kind of leader are you out there on the football field? We know you're a humble dude, but how do you lead? How do you get on your players?
Although I've came off as very humble and pretty fuzzy and warm, at the end of my Indiana career, when you have that equity, you're able to be like number 4 and number 12. And if you ask my teammates, that's stuff that I was. I wasn't always a nice guy. I was an a-hole sometimes because I wanted everyone to do their 111th, everyone to do their job, hold everyone to a high standard. However, coming to a new organization, starting from the bottom of the totem pole, I believe that leadership is earned, not given. And there's so many amazing leaders on this team. And I think, especially as a quarterback, the 2 things you need to be a leader is, number 1, you got to play well. Play well, I respect you. That's number 4 and number 12, both Hall of Famers. You got to play well. You got to do your job before you can hold other people accountable. And number 2, you got to create equity. You got to create equity, whether it's work ethic, whether it's caring about your teammates, connecting them on a personal level, and then just being one of the guys.
There it is.
When you have that equity, when you have that player equity, and then also have that performance equity, that is when you take that corner, and then you could have that advanced leadership techniques of holding people accountable. Because they know not only do you do your job, you do go above and beyond. And that was something I was able to experience at the end of my career at Indiana. However, now I'm starting from the bottom of the totem pole, and there's so many great leaders, offense, defense, special teams, coaches, owners that I can learn from. So right now, I'm just trying to be a sponge and build that equity. Try to perform in my job and try to connect with my teammates.
Just following up on that, usually when you're the number 1 overall pick, you're going to a team that has the number 1 pick for a reason, right? There's not a lot of pieces in place. Looking at what John Spytek did in this offseason and the fact that you're walking into Clint Kubiak as a head coach, Tom Brady as a resource, you have first-round draft picks as 2 of your skill players, and Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty. They just bring in the best center in the NFL. Do you feel like when you assess the situation you're walking into, it's a step ahead of what a lot of number 1 overall picks walk into?
I believe it's a huge step ahead. And it's a huge step ahead because not only are all those great talents, they're also great people. They're great people, and that's what's so first class about this organization. And I'm just trying to prove it that I belong. I'm one of them. And so I'm just looking forward to rookie minicamp in a couple of days so I can prove it and just start diving my head into the offense.
I just can't wait for the cigars and the first tattoo. When Max Crosby takes them to get the first tattoo after the wins, we're gonna get that. Thanks so much, Fernando Mendoza. It's such a pleasure meeting you. Enjoy the ride. We can't wait to see you at training camps.
Thank you so much for you guys having me on.
All right. More to come when we come back as we get you ready for the second round.
Ashton.
How you doing?
John Spytek in Vegas. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Enjoy the moment, man. We're about to make you a Raider.
Yes, sir.
As Mr. Davis would love me to say, welcome to the dark side, my friend.
Let's go, baby.
All right, let's go.
With the 6th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Ashton Jeanty, running back, Boise State.
Excited to be here, but yeah, it's been a pretty crazy 24 hours. Not much sleep, but, just a lot of excitement, celebrating with my family. And, last night I was pretty much up the whole night just thinking about, what a great honor it is to be a Raider. I'm super grateful. Yeah. It could have been anywhere else, but this is a great organization, great history, a lot of legends have come through here, great fan base. Just great overall, so extremely grateful and, blessed to have this opportunity.
Get your popcorn ready because it's going to be a movie.
So we're here at Allegiant Stadium to host one of WWE's 2026 Community Champions, King of Jewels.
Are you guys ready to go to the floor? Yes. Let's go. But I need you to know that today you are the champions, and today the superstars are here to meet you.
Oh, yeah.
Please welcome your Las Vegas Raiders and WWE superstars.
This is first time running the stadium, 2024.
Oh my goodness, I learned so much. I think when you work for a large organization like the Raiders or the Rams or the Suns, they seriously give you so many life skills, and I feel like it's why I can do well in the job that I'm in now.
Favorite part about the tour, seeing the history, seeing my team, watching us grow, seeing the players. It was awesome. It was awesome. Thank you so much.
Raiders headquarters getting ready for the second round of the draft. What will John Spytek and company do? Fernando Mendoza, the #1 overall pick, is in the building, and the party is just getting started here in Henderson, Nevada. All of the tables are set up, the food is out, and now Raider Nation is filling into headquarters here. Welcome back, everybody. Let's go back out to the field house and welcome in Paul Gutierrez. Paul, did you eat? We're not letting JJ go down there because we said, Barron, protect the food. I think Barron already went after the food. Is the party getting started? Are people coming in yet, or is that getting close?
Not yet. A couple of the dignitaries are coming in. I just saw Jim Plunkett. He looked at me and said, "Hey, you're always on stage." I was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to follow your footsteps, Jim, a little bit here." But yeah, it's getting ready. You can feel the excitement. A lot of fans, a couple of fans that are friends of mine have texted me and said they're waiting patiently in line to get inside. It's going to be a pretty big deal, and it's a huge, exciting day. I just saw John Spytek, general manager, and I said, "Hey, congratulations again, big day." And he said, "Yeah, it is." And then he congratulated me himself. So that's kind of the vibe of the whole thing right now.
Now, Paul, are we ready to move on to the next part of this draft, putting pieces around Fernando Mendoza?
Yeah, absolutely. But again, it kind of depends, right? They have the 4th pick as it stands right now, the 4th pick to start today off. And is it need? Is it best player available? Is it depending upon what happens in those first 3 picks? Do they want to get excited and get froggy and kind of jump up a little bit to get somebody they like? I had McDonald, the defensive tackle from Ohio State, in my mock draft, and I wouldn't be mad if he was still there and they took him at number 4. And I know you asked me, EA, to surround the quarterback with things, and a defensive tackle doesn't necessarily mean that. But if you have what's an offense's best friend? A good defense. And I'm sure a cornerback would agree with me. I'm sure, JJ, I'm sure a receiver would agree with me there as well. Nope.
No. I want to see them trade, and I want to see them go get A.J. Brown, get a big-time playmaker. But, but that's Spytek's job. You said Spytek said thank you to you. He said thank you to me, too. I'm just trying to figure out why do you thank you? Because he told me something different.
Well, he didn't say thank you as much as he said congratulations. And I think, and that was to me is more kind of the vibe of everything that's going on within the building, is that you feel this positivity emanating from this building that you really haven't felt if in a long time, if ever, because really we've only been here, what, 6 years since the Raiders moved to Las Vegas. So that's the tenor, that's kind of the framework that I think that John Spytek is working on, is that, look, it's not just about him, it's about the organization as a whole. And since I joined the organization last year on April 1st, no April Fool, it was something that just really you kind of feel and you live, and all those years that I've covered this team, you've seen it from one side of the wall, now being on this side of the wall with you good folks, I can totally feel it too.
Some news. We just heard that Tom Flores, that they have permission now, that Fernando Mendoza has gotten permission to wear number 15. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Raiders technically do not retire numbers. We know that, and that's kind of a cool thing as well. But all last night, and he brought it up again today, Fernando did in his press conference, was that he wants to wear number 15, but he's not sure if he's earned that right yet because of the great Tom Flores, the Hall of Fame coach who was a quarterback for the Raiders, and that was the number he wore. So I called Tom this morning. And Tom picked the phone up, and he said, yeah, he has my blessing. He has the ultimate blessing because he does so many good things. And he wasn't just talking about on the field. He said he literally said he's perfect. He makes all the throws. He speaks well. He represents himself well. He represents the team well. So he definitely has my permission. He said beyond that, he's a good-looking kid, just like I am. And that was Tom Flores saying that, not me.
I love that. Good get, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul, who is this comp for you? I mean, who are you comparing him to as he comes in as a young player?
You know, I've heard a lot of different comps out there, but I thought this when he was still at Cal, and I was in the Bay Area watching a lot of him. I see Andrew Luck, and I don't know if it's the brain, I don't know if it's the size, I don't know if it's the arm, the sneaky athleticism. That's a pretty high bar for him to kind of reach, but I see some Andrew Luck more than a Joe Burrow, more than the Chargers quarterback. You know, I see Andrew Luck, and I don't know why.
Okay.
I like that.
Raider Nation should be excited today.
Yeah.
And they should have been excited yesterday.
And
they should be excited tomorrow because JT the Brick said his floor is MVP Matty Ice Ryan.
Okay.
And then my man P, my brother, from another mother, just said Andrew Luck. When you watch his tape, Raider fans should be excited about what this young kid is going to bring.
What's your comp?
To be honest with you, my comp, and it's Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
That is my comp. Kirk Cousins is my comp. Play from the pocket. You haven't really seen him escape a lot. He will every now and then make some plays with his legs. But I truly feel like Kirk Cousins is one of the better throwers of the football. And when he's surrounded by a good team, you see him go, 14-2, 13-3 with the Vikings to the playoffs. The only difference is I feel like Mendoza has those game-winning moments over Kirk. But when you talk about the player, I think it's Kirk Cousins.
I thought you were asking him who was his comp. I thought he was going to say Jerry Rice.
Oh, yeah. It will never be Jerry Rice. It will never be Randy Moss. Because I used to tell everybody that. Tim Brown won the Heisman in the wing tee. I'm Tim Brown.
There you go.
Tim Brown, my comp.
You know what, guys? Speaking of Tim Brown, he's here, and I was just hanging out at a table with Tim Brown, Marcus Allen, Fred Biletnikoff, Jim Plunkett, the legends were here. And I stumped them a little bit with a trivia question. I said, look, Fernando Mendoza's coming in the building now. He is the 11th different Heisman Trophy winner that's going to play in a regular season game with the Raiders. And they couldn't figure out who the others were. And the sneaky pick were all the quarterbacks from Carson Palmer to Matt Leinart to Marcus Mariota. So those guys are all having fun with it in there too. And they're excited to have him join not only the Raiders club as Heisman Trophy winners, but potentially, hopefully, maybe one day win a Super Bowl or get to a Super Bowl like all those guys did.
Absolutely.
That's the name of the game. And it starts in a pick like this by picking the right man to play quarterback, because I've never seen a team win a Super Bowl with, a below-average quarterback. So this is where it starts. Paul Gutierrez, thanks for joining us. Have fun at the party. Thanks for checking in.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Save me some food, man.
When we come back, I want to talk to JT the Brick. He is going to join us. We haven't gotten into a lot about who's exactly available coming up here in about an hour. The Raiders, as I said, have the 4th pick of the day. Who are they going to select? I think it could be a corner. I don't know. We'll talk about it when we come back. Stick with us.
A big play player. Jalen Naylor, I think his nickname was like Speedy or something. So you know this guy is all about speed, and we love that aspect of the game, particularly with the Raiders. We need a guy who can take the top off, but Jalen does it a little differently. He's just not a finesse player. You love the way he fights through the physical presence. Here, we see that slot fade, great timing here. He's gonna stack the cornerback, so the cornerback can't catch up. Great job. And look at the physical play. Look at the physical run. This is the guy who's not running out of bounds. This is going to be a great job of him releasing, showing some patience, and then releasing and then stacking the cornerback. So the cornerback has no room to make it. Now a straight arm, I'm going to run through your tackle, and almost ran through another tackle. That shows that he's just not a speed guy. He's a young man who can play through physical play. Once again, he's gonna be inside for the most part. He's not the outside receiver. He's gonna be the inside guy. So if you're a speedy guy, usually the corner's thinking, I'm gonna get my hands on you. But he does a really good job. Watch the body control right now. He's gonna dip the shoulders just a little bit and then stretch him and then run away. He's gonna pop up here on the right side of our screen and watch the shoulder dip as he's coming. Right there, that little shoulder dip. And he had to run through a little bit of hands from the DB, catch the ball, kind of running away. Jalen's doing a really good job here showing you that he's just not a speed player. He's a guy who can play through that physical presence. As we know, red zone, so critical for us. We need to be so good in the red zone. We have so many great options. It's gonna be the inside guy. Let's play through the bump. Okay, again, another dip in the shoulder. This is a contested catch. You gotta have body control in the back of the end zone to be able to do that. That's not an easy catch for anyone, particularly when you're under duress. And I'm telling you, he is really playing through the physical presence. See that? The cornerback has hands all on. You have to be able to body control, understand where the ball's gonna be, tiptoe on the sideline. That is an amazing catch in the red zone under duress. One more time. Jalen is the kind of guy, he's gonna be the point of the bunch right here. So you know you're gonna be the guy who's gonna get that physical play. Once again, runs through the physical play, runs that 7 route, and again, under duress. That was a contested catch again, right? That's when you're talking about a speed guy, we always talk about get hands on the speed, like right here. He's on the left side of the screen. You know you're gonna get jammed. How are you gonna do it? I'm gonna run right through him. Watch it, bam. Great job running, anticipating that pressure, and another contested catch. That is great. I mean, you can see that. You know, there's corners here who are gonna be great, and they're gonna have great coverage on you, but if you continue to make contested catches for your quarterback, you're gonna really be a security blanket, particularly in the red zone for our football team. Outstanding job by a speed guy working through the physicalness of the DBs to make contested catches for touchdowns.
134.
Get a quarterback.
117. 67. 36. Number 1.
Bingo.
Get a quarterback high in that first round. It seems like signs point toward, fingers point toward Fernando Mendoza.
I would expect it to be Fernando Mendoza. I'd be surprised if it isn't. His future seems unbelievably bright. He just loves football. He loves to work. He loves to win. And he's done it at the absolute highest level.
Need a guy that the team can rally behind, that can be a leader. Those are all things that Fernando Mendoza has embodied at Indiana.
Looking forward to his play. He's tall. He's got a good arm.
Well, many of us believe that Fernando Mendoza is that player. Look at what he did at the University of Indiana.
Just seeing his college tape this past year, the stuff that he put on film, it's really impressive.
Man, I'm already headed towards like Mendoza, man. I mean,
he's got a lot of the qualities you love at that position. I mean, he's big, he's strong, he's physical, he's athletic, he can create and manufacture some offense on his own.
But you got somebody who's accurate, who's a really good decision maker, and someone who's got a lot of poise.
He just improved so much in so many ways where you feel pretty confidently about who he is coming into the NFL.
Welcome back to HQ as the Raiders have welcomed Fernando Mendoza. He already had his press conference. He was up here on set, and man, I'll tell you, just an impressive young man. You have to be excited when you hear him talk. JT the Brick is at the Fieldhouse where the Raiders party is getting ready to start. And JT, you had a chance to meet Fernando Mendoza as well. What was your impression?
Wow, Amber, he just blew me away. He came up to me in the lunchroom. He was introducing himself to everybody. And in that piece, he just came back with, I think the two happiest people of all are Rich Gannon and Jim Plunkett. Because Jim Plunkett, I've never seen a smile on Jim like this, with the connection to the Latino heritage and all that. And then Rich Gannon, who we've been talking to since he's been a Raider, has been waiting for this type of player, I think longer than all of us, as he left the Raiders at a very high level of his career, and we've been waiting for a quarterback to come into the building with these type of expectations. But I met the Mendoza family, his father, his little brother, who I think my wife told me before I left today, look at that kid's Instagram. That's what you want your Instagram to look like someday. He's a superstar, and the family's just really special.
Oh, man. JT, man, you've been around this place for a long time, and I know you've been wanting that quarterback since Derek Carr and Rich Gannon. Does the rest of Raider Nation feel the same way?
Hey, EA, you know me, when the phones aren't going on the radio show, I get cranky. Like, where are you? I'm on the radio. Where are you? I walked in today. There were 9 lines on hold to talk about this kid. Now, I can use that in June and July when it gets quiet, but I wish he was coming in then. But today, the fans that got on the show that I talked to today from all over the country, they are just thrilled. This is what we talked about yesterday before the party at the Palms, is that the fans want to put the past behind them. They want to keep the legacy of the Raiders' history front and center. But we're done talking about struggling. We're done talking about a long-term plan. And I had a caller on my radio show today who said, this better not be a long turnaround. And I agree. Because of the offseason, what's going to happen today in the draft with Fernando, this thing has a opportunity to bounce. It could bounce really quickly, the way Jaden Daniels got a 4-win team to the NFC Championship, and the way that we saw Drake May and the Patriots, who we beat last year week 1, they end up going to the Super Bowl. I'm not predicting playoffs here, but I'm predicting playoffs in 2 years. This ain't a 3 to 5 year plan when you have Bowers in the building and Genty and Max Crosby, the gift that we got back here. No one's talking about this long-term wait here. Raider Nation needs to capitalize on this moment.
JT, I know yesterday you said the floor was Matty Ice, Matt Ryan. I ain't saying you crazy, but you know, you just sounded a little crazy.
You say worse things about me being crazy than that. Let it fly. We're on YouTube.
But that's all good, man. I love you. What do you need to see from Mendoza early to let you know this ain't gonna take?
Well,
2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I think, James, what's going to happen is I'm really fascinated by what the competition's really going to look like. You guys played at the highest level, you and EA, and everybody tells me that, you know, tape don't lie, practice don't lie. If he comes in and outplays Cousins, will he start? Well, Tim Brown thinks so. If he's going to wait because they're definitely going to make him wait on purpose, I'm good with that. But by some point, he's got to come in and be in complete control of this offense and take off to the next level. I don't have a problem looking at players from different eras. I could look at Babe Ruth, Ohtani, Bonds, A-Rod. I don't care what era they played in. You have to be great. He's a #1 overall franchise pick. He needs to play eventually at the level of Elway, Rodgers. He has to, because then the pick becomes a pick of a guy who ended up being pretty good. We talked about Matt Ryan. I'm talking about super elite. And I haven't been around a guy that big and strong at this age that has his ego checked at the door and wants to come in and start from scratch and do it. So my expectations are really high with him, and I'd like to see him play sooner than later.
Well said.
JT, so much focus is on Fernando Mendoza that we forget there's 9 picks coming up, and they start in just less than an hour with number 36. I know offensive line, it seems to be a priority for Raider Nation. It seems logical. You get a quarterback of that caliber, you got to protect him. I'm looking at Daniel Jeremiah's top 20 available. There's no lineman in that top 20. No offensive lineman, no tackles. There are safeties, though. Somebody like Jermon McCoy, Colton Hood. There's also wide receivers. We've been talking a lot about Denzel Boston, giving him a weapon. Where do you think the Raiders go? I love the defensive tackle out of Georgia, by the way. I didn't know Kristen Miller was still on the board. There's a lot of talent that slid down. Caden McDonald's still on the board because, as Baron Davis said, it seemed like a lot of reaches were in that first round, looking from the outside.
Yeah, McDonald seems to be the pick for me if he's available because he fits a need of a plug-and-play defensive tackle who can start. All I've said on the radio, it's been crazy, Amber, because for a month and a half, we knew who you were getting at number 1. We all knew it, and it wasn't much of a surprise, but my focus has been on this next pick at 36 and what it needs to be. And I was hoping yesterday, I told you they would have went back into the first round, but as we predicted, there'd be good players with high grades that would fall here. So I think defensive tackle and safety are probably the 2 safest picks to find starters. And then if you want to get Boston as a receiver, he would have to be a starter. You have to plug him over Jack Bech, Dante Thornton, everybody, because he's a high pick and they're going to need him to play. So I'm fascinated by this pick overall. My gut tells me D tackle, safety, and if they go offense, then I think the rest of the draft after that will be heavy defense to clean up the problems from last year. But as I said, they cleaned up a lot of those problems, as EA and I were talking about, with all these breakdowns at linebacker and what they're doing. And then a young corner. I don't want to see a corner in the 5th or 6th round because he's not going to be better than Darian Porter or Caillou Blue Kelly, and he's not going to play. I want guys who are going to come in here and start. And you're going to have 2 or 3 more picks after Fernando who got to walk into this building thinking they're going to start when they get to camp and have that bravado and intensity.
JT, stick with me right here, brother. Stick with me. We trade some of these picks, and we go get A.J. Brown, and we put him with Mendoza. Nobody is going to care how well the defensive tackle plays or the corner plays. They're going to care how well Mendoza plays. Put some pieces around him. I'm watching those highlights right there. A lot of those are opportunity footballs to his guys that he trusts. We don't have a true number 1 like that in the building yet for Mendoza to trust. He's going out there. I just stood up here and told him, this is your team. I know Kirk Cousins is here, but this is your team. He's going to go out there. Week 1, week 2, week 0, week whatever. He's going out there. Have some pieces around him so he can have some success and look the right way. That's what I would do, JT.
Can you please leave the set and get in the war room and make that trade? Can you make that trade? Just walk in there and say, here's the deal, guys. I would love that. I would love to have a proven player. And another topic I talk about all the time with EA, I believe the Raiders are going to get a starting corner on cut-down day later this summer. Someone on the Rams, the Niners, a good team's going to cut a corner because they have a lot of depth and good players, and that'll be kind of like another Eric Stokes who comes in opposite of him. But you're right, James. You played at a high level. It's tough to find these number 1 wide receivers. That's why if you're going to take one, he better be big and strong so he can fight off some of the players in this league, not an undersized wide receiver. We've been talking about Zachariah Branch. No, that's not the pick for me in the 2nd round, 3rd or 4th round if he's still there. But I agree with you. A marquee number 1 wide receiver, they're hard to come by. I can tell you one thing. There's a guy in Minnesota, Justin Jefferson, who would love to probably get out of there and come to this party today and play for this team going forward. Let's go get someone like that.
Don't you start that
or
now.
Jamar Chase, man. We can make a call to Jamar Chase and tell him about Henderson.
Man. I'm on the phone already. Hold on, man. Let me see what we can do.
What's that going to take, though? What's that going to take?
Well, too much.
You got to.
The last one for me, JT, what was it like for Raider Nation to get the free agent back in Max Crosby? Thinking that we lost him, and it was just like, I'm sitting there having my hot chocolate. I'm thinking all the times I've talked to Max, and you and him are really close. And then to have him come back, what was that feeling like for you and Raider Nation?
Let's take everyone behind the scenes here. You had a bunch of NFL insiders running around thinking they knew something about Max. I was having dinner with Max, with his wife and my wife, 2 days before all this stuff went down, and I kind of knew what was going on, and I wasn't throwing my thumbs out there and tweeting, and I think this is going to happen. When he went to Baltimore, Max wanted to have a better opportunity to win. The Raiders got some good trade equity back. Baltimore, what they did was, in my opinion, really wrong and bad, and we got back one of our greatest players in franchise history that hasn't won a postseason game, and Max is going to win eventually. So I think that's the biggest news for me this offseason is that we got Max back, and I think Max is going to look around here the next couple of days and go, wow, this Mendoza is going to bring juice. Tom Brady's got the juice. The organization is back on track. I love the fact that they're not wearing the decals on the helmet. Everybody's got to earn everything. This is different than where we were a year ago with a veteran coaching staff. This coaching staff seems to be more hungry, more disciplined. Everyone's going to work to the highest level. We'll put the best team out there. But having Max Crosby back, that was my biggest holiday gift. That came out of nowhere, and I'm thrilled that he's in our building today.
You know what, JT, is crazy because you spoke on no decals on the helmet, and those are earned, which is big time, right, when you see them stickers getting put on your helmet. Another thing that I love that he's doing, Coach Kubiak. Obviously, I see all the money that we got to pay free agent players, so I was in the jacuzzi and ice tub yesterday. You know what I mean? Just trying to see if my hammies still can hold up. They can't. But I was in the locker room, and there's a big old sign in the locker room, and it says, "Lockers have changed."
Ooh.
That's what it says. It says, "Lockers have changed." And I'm looking around. I'm like, "Lockers have changed?" Well, offensive linemen is with running backs and wide receivers and DBs and everybody. There is very rarely that is in a locker room. When you walk into a locker room, you see that's all the O-linemen. That's all the defensive linemen. That's all the corners. That's all the whole locker room is switched up. Ashton Genty is by, a defensive lineman.
Wow.
Meet your teammates. Talk to your teammates. Right. That's how you make a close football team. So I like that.
And Amber, I'll tell you, when I go to the men's locker room on the 3rd floor and I see James Jones and EA, and they got all that new swag, and I'm saying to Marcus, what about me? I went down and got this today. I just put it on the account, Silver and Black Productions, because James Jones, the dry cleaning, the suits and all that, man. I'm like, and EA, he's got all the fresh gear up there too. So I'm all for the locker room and the locker room.
You know you my brother, JT. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna hook you up.
You know what, JT? I'm gonna move your locker by mine, man. We need to get closer.
I was actually looking at your zip up thinking, that's pretty fresh. I gotta go down and get me one of those. JT, you cover this team so closely. You analyze the roster constantly. We know we got a bunch of veteran linebackers. We got a pass rusher. We got Malcolm Kuntz re-signed. When you look at both sides of the ball, where do you think the biggest remaining hole is on this roster right now?
It's clearly offensive line. The offensive line, as James was just talking about, proving yourself. They haven't proved anything. Tyler Linderbaum's a home run. We don't know if Colt Miller's going to be healthy for the rest of his career because he hasn't been. I'm hoping he's perfect this year. Hey, quick story. Last night on top of the Ghost Bar, I was with Jackson Powers Johnson's mom and dad. Right. And I spent about a half hour with them, and they told me a bunch of stuff about his mindset and workouts. So we know we have him there, but I still think today we can get out of here if we're fortunate, maybe in this 36th pick to get a starting guard. And if not, you know, Caleb Rogers, who was at the Palms yesterday, he looks like he's in great shape. So I still think getting out of today in the 2nd or 3rd round and getting an offensive lineman would be the best for this organization because, man, oh, man, was that a problem. We had guys last year who didn't know who they were blocking right in front of them.
Yeah.
They were lining up against guys right in front of them and just going the other way. This is going to be completely fixed and changed, and I think another big body, another solid player who proved themselves in college can only help this team.
Without a doubt. I mean, coaching staff-wise, it had a lot to do with what you're trying to accomplish coaching staff-wise. I know this football team wants to run the football, so I think interior offensive line, like you're saying, is definitely something that we need to address just to get some competition and no more rotating offensive lines for like 5 or 6 weeks. We need to roll into season number 1, game 1, with an offensive line that we know what's going on, correct?
100% correct on that. And if I could leave you with one other point with one player, let's figure out what we're doing with Michael Mayer. He was brought to this organization to be great, not to be a special teams blocker on the end. No, he's a guy at Notre Dame, 8 to 10 catches a game automatically. And Big Mike now can block on that offensive line. He's very good at that. I want to see his career open up along with Brock Bowers if we get a number 1 receiver. And what's going to happen with Dante Thornton and Jack Besh? Those are 2 players who were not developed properly last year with enough opportunity from the former coaching staff to see them on game day. I think that's going to be a big storyline this summer.
Look, I'm not offensive coordinator, but I'm right with you. You know, why not run 12 personnel in the red zone where Fernando Mendoza is the most efficient? Throw it up to Big Mike because everybody thinks it's going to Bowers, right? Be creative in the red zone because Mike Myers, he was huge in the red zone. That's where he thrives. He's going to win those 50-50 balls. I say, we talk about him blocking, you know, throw it to him in the red zone. And Fernando Mendoza, if people haven't looked at the minutia of his stats, that's where he was super efficient at Indiana.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that Mendoza needs a back shoulder throw guy. What is Dante Thornton Jr.? I mean, that guy, we did that broadcast in the preseason where he had the touchdown.
Yeah.
And I was saying to myself, we were in Arizona, I'm going, wow, that was like a perfect throw, perfect catch. And I said, at a minimum, I thought that Dante Thornton Jr. would be the high point guy, throw it to him, the high point pass in the corner of the end zone. And they even do that. So that's another weapon that hasn't been used. Think about the weapons that haven't been used that are currently in the building. Okay, it's 2 offensive linemen that weren't used that were drafted last year. It's Besh, it's Thornton. Who else am I forgetting? Are there other corners? Are there other players that were not utilized properly? They all get a fresh start here, hopefully with a bunch of rookies who are looking to take their job. I think because the 7 new starters we brought in during free agency, plus Fernando, today is the big pick. It's coming up here soon. This pick will tell you about the direction of Clint Kubiak and John Spytek, what they believe is a priority to win this season.
And I think the blessing about all that, too, is number one, Clint Kubiak's best personnel last year was 12 personnel. He lived in 12 personnel in Seattle, right? Sam Darnold, don't make the mistakes. We're going to be able to run this football. You're going to be behind a good offensive line with 2 really good tight ends that can block and pass catch. So that's what's good about it. But I understand what we're saying about Thornton, and I think he has a lot of potential. But if you're asking me right now, that's who we need to go get. A guy like that can make the back shoulder catches, that can go up and get the ball, that we know can. Not saying Thornton's never going to get there, but right now we don't know, right? But we do know AJ can. We do know certain other receivers can. So my thing is you got to go get some big-time playmakers to go around this kid so you can see how good he really, really is. There was a lot of playmakers on that Indiana offense last year.
Well, Howie Roseman over at the Eagles, he is a shrewd deal maker, man.
We've been talking about that.
If you do a deal with him, he's probably going to win the deal because he has the last, decade. So it's hard to do business with someone like him because he only does business when he thinks it's going to be so advantageous to the Birds, the Eagles, and it has been that way. But I like the trade. I like to win now. Again, the last couple of years are tough. Tough on the fans, tough on everybody, but especially the fans who are here today behind me. They deserved a win now approach. The team can tell you it's going to be a long-term process, and I would agree with that. But I talk to fans, and fans want to win. And I'm a season ticket holder in 132, and I want to see some bombs. I want to see bombs. I want to look at the bombs. Hey, James, do we throw the ball deep anymore? Can he get a 60-yard throw in the air? I've seen Cousins do that. I know Mendoza can do it. Bombs away with Clint Kubiak.
And I know A.J. Brown can do it. And JT, really quick, because I don't think he's going to win this trade. You just traded up for Mekhi Lemon. You traded for Dontavius Wicks and gave him $15 million. You already have Smitty in the building. A.J. Brown was already unhappy reading books, and you bring in another first-rounder? He has to go, and everybody knows that. Once you put in a ticket for Mekhi Lemon, he has to go. I think whoever trades for him is going to get A.J. Brown for cheap.
That's the biggest thing I took away, with all respect to you and Amber. There's a deal maker there, man. I don't know what he's doing on your set. He should be in that war room. Hey, there's no more magnets in the war room, man. It's just electronics now.
There you go.
Bring my own.
There you go, guys.
I love it. JT, thanks for spending so much time with us. Enjoy your time down there with Raider Nation.
Day,
I know it's party time coming up here. All right, thanks a lot. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, Lincoln Kennedy joins the show, Raider Nation Radio, former offensive lineman. He's going to tell us who he likes, what guards are available, what tackles are available, who we're going with. Round 2 is coming up.
Y'all keep saying lineman.
Tyler Linderbaum, center, one of the best centers in the AFC, now here with our Las Vegas Raiders. He's a 6'2", almost 300-pound guy. I think his comp maybe is Jason Kelsey. Yes, Kelsey. And we're going to see here the spatial awareness, so important for centers to play. Be able to find a way to get off one guy and then swing back to help your offensive guard be able to protect the quarterback. You have to be able to be versatile at the center spot. The awareness of the field, so important. So you start right, and you come up, you see the cut right there? Really good job by playing with your head at center. It is really important for centers to understand where they are on the field, having a great responsibility of being able to snap, obviously, and then pass off guys to give your quarterback opportunities to make big plays down the field. You love that about Tyler, being able to really pick up guys. And you have to be physical. You have to be able to, if someone's lining up over you, be able to communicate with the other lineman. And now, of course, in the shotgun, first thing, get the ball, and now really be patient up front. And that's the one thing with the center. You can't be so aggressive that you're just piling away at one of the nose tackles and you kind of get lost in the mud. You have to always have that spatial awareness. And you see it right up. That was amazing. Being able to help your guard, and then when the stunt comes, being able to get out of that stunt and be able to provide that protection for your quarterback to extend the play. Communication first. Hey, I'm gonna help my guard. Oh, I see you coming. Now I'm gonna chip off and make sure you're there to give your quarterback opportunities to run and to extend those plays. Not the biggest guy, not the longest arms, but really plays with great athleticism and also plays with a really great gritty toughness to him here. So he's against the Bills right now. Let's try and get to the second level if we're a center. That's right. A draw, get to the second level, gonna occupy that linebacker, which is a pretty good linebacker there, and does an outstanding job of allowing his running back to read off of him. Most important now is to chip and then get to the second level, allowing your running back now to get downtown, making that big explosive play. Tyler's gonna snap, bam, chip, and then get to the second level and really do a good job of giving that running back an opportunity to leverage off his butt and get to the third level. We need a guy who can get to the second level, get in the way, and then provide opportunities for the running back to hit it for a touchdown. Does a great job attacking the mic and then getting off and even getting a piece of the will linebacker there. So Tyler doing a really good job of showing his athleticism, his opportunity to really get to that second level and not just get there and fall down, but you want to get there, make an impact to allow your running back to really make this cut. And we know our guy, Ashton Jeanty, can get it and make sure he can get to the end zone. That was just a great piece of tape by one of the best centers in the AFC, now a Las Vegas Raiders, Tyler Lindenbaum.
I had a dream that someday I would build the finest organization in professional sports.
It really shows the Raider image, and the brand really comes out with it, but it's also a very highly technological room.
We have 59 different video sources we can take in, and then we have 83 feet of screen space. It's about 58 million LEDs in here.
How you doing? Good to see you again. How's everything?
Yeah, man. Great.
How you doing? How's everything?
Welcome back, everybody. We're getting ready for Lincoln Kennedy as the Raiders prepare to make their their second round pick, number 36 overall, coming up in less than an hour. That'll be exciting because, as JT the Brick said, this is kind of where we know where the priorities are for the Raiders, right? Because if they go defensive tackle.
Yes, we all broke that kind of down yesterday, what his history is as far as building inside to outside. It'll be interesting to see kind of what happens because obviously in free agency, you get one of the best centers in all of football, so that's definitely going to help your quarterback. But do they go guard, do they go defensive tackle, or do they go receiver in this draft today?
It's a passing league we're in today. We're in a passing league.
The last two Super Bowl champions have been running football teams.
The last Super Bowl champion
Defense
had
and
the
running.
Offensive Player of the Year at wide receiver. JSN. The Philadelphia Eagles, who did they have? A really good defense. Who was catching the ball for them, EA? Okay, hey, listen. quarterbacks need big-time playmakers.
Yeah, they do.
We've seen it this year, right? Herbert is probably one of the better throwers in our league of the football. He didn't have a lot of weapons to throw to out there.
Yeah.
Offensive coordinator fired. Josh McDaniels come in here, right? Because we need to get the best out of Justin Herbert, and they are going to put pieces around him. Every quarterback that we can know in the National Football League right now, we can look on that team and say it's a bona fide number one wide receiver.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
so
agree.
my thing is I'm not saying that number one wide receiver is going to get us to the Super Bowl. I don't know. But it's going to have our first-round pick playing at a high level.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm worried about right now for evaluation. Do I want to win the Super Bowl next year? Yes. But I do know this is a process. And how can we get the best out of him? We need playmakers around him.
Yeah. We have to have the ability to protect the quarterback and the running game. Because how many times last year did we sit up here and poor Ashton Genty, gets the handoff and he has 2 or 3 guys hitting him. And I'm not sure if that was scheme-wise. We let go of our offensive coordinator at the beginning of the season and Chip Kelly, and it's really never able to really build a foundation of being able to protect the quarterback or the running game. We need to have that down pat for us to be able to utilize that threat on the outside.
I agree. And I was looking at that list of wide receivers. I know you want A.J. Brown to come here, but it looked like in the 3rd round, second round, Malachi Fields will probably be there. And that's somebody Daniel Jeremiah kept talking about a lot, the kid out of Notre Dame. And then Zachariah Branch, we keep talking about him because of his connections to the Raiders as Cliff Branch's nephew. But he could fall to the 3rd round. And if you get a wide receiver out of Georgia that can catch the football, but special teams was bad for the Raiders last year. The average field position, I mean, you got to give Mendoza a great field position to start. And if you can get a 3rd rounder that can also return the football the way that Zachariah Branch does, I think you could get a couple different utilities out of him as well. But just my heart tells me they're going to go defensive tackle.
What school did Zachariah Branch go to?
Started
before?
at USC.
USC.
In Georgia.
Who teaches at USC?
Amber.
He might have been my student. He might have been my student. And he was just like Mekhi Lemon, and he said, I'm not going to Chargers training camp, professor. I want to go to the Raiders training camp. That's the boy that wants to be here. And he was a good kid. I can tell that as a professor. He was determined. He was proactive. Those are things you see that you don't, people don't get to talk to their professors. The scouts should have called me.
That's right.
They should have called me.
And special teams for Zachariah Branch would be a huge pickup. And then even another gadget guy. You know what I mean? He might not be the number one wide receiver on the outside, but he could be that gadget guy. It's quick screens. I think 80% of his catches came off of quick screens or routes under 5 yards and him making hay happen like this. So
imagine the middle of the football field having to deal with him one-on-one if you're a nickel and knowing that Brock Bowers is the number one threat in the middle of the football field. So that gives him opportunities to work on the 3rd or 4th best corner. So that gives you an opportunity for him to utilize all this after catch. Look at that explosiveness, big play mentality. Knowing that he's not the number one, he's going to come in, like you say, be that gadget guy, get the receiver reverses, have some kind of ability to be able to be in 3rd down and really take advantage.
And not only, and to piggyback off that, because he reminds me a lot of Randall Cobb. And I think the main thing is coaching. When you're drafting these people, you got to have a plan of where you're going to use them, how you're going to use them coaching-wise, right? I keep hearing everybody say, I walked through the locker room, Max Crosby grabbed me, he said, you got to come to practice. He said, it's night and day.
Really?
Coaching-wise. Walking through it again, a scout grabbed me, JJ, you got to come to practice. It's night. So coaching-wise, they think they getting the best coaching, elite coaching. So you got to have a plan for him. Number 2, you get a dude like him. We put Randall Cobb in the backfield, in the slot, but Mike McCarthy and them had a plan for him. So if you got Ashton Genty and Branch standing in the backfield, you don't know the play call. But coaching-wise, you got to have a plan for a kid like that. And it won't be a bad move because, like you say, special teams, he can move the needle as well.
And who's to say Jack Besh doesn't step up and, he's a 2nd-round pick. We haven't seen him. That could possibly happen. So you maybe don't need to go out and get the true, number one when you got Brock Bowers, Jack Besh, and then maybe somebody, gadget guy, slot guy like
Yep.
No, he wants AJ. Okay, let's go back out. Let's go back out to the field house. Welcome in Lincoln Kennedy. What's happening, Link?
What's up, guys? You guys finished talking about all those specialist players? Because, look, they don't need any more shine. They're always in the news.
No.
The JJ, ELA. Look, stop talking about those receivers. And God, don't need no more pretty boys. There's only one football, guys. We've got, as you said, Amber, we still got some guys on this team that haven't shown what they have. So I don't believe in going shopping until you know what you have in the cabinet.
And I'll take those big hogs up front any day.
Hey,
I
that's
will.
what I'm talking
You know, you're pretty. You are pretty, but you're the big hogs.
Big sexy.
They're the big sexies up front.
I wear it well, thank you.
And I think right now, and I'm with JT, I asked the question because it was rhetorical in my opinion. I already knew the answer. This team is, in my opinion, short one offensive lineman.
Agreed.
Do you think that Caleb Rogers could be somebody that emerges? What do you think of the guys we have, DJ Glaze? Or do you still think there is one bona fide starter that needs to come in from the outside, whether through the draft coming up here or later in camp?
I think we have unproven commodities out of Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant to start with. You know, of course, we still got Burford that just came over from the 49ers. I've seen a little bit of him play last year. And I still think you need, if anything, you're drafting today for depth, if not a starter. Now, I will say this. In my opinion, if you're picked in the second, third, or fourth round, you're supposed to be a starter. You know, I don't believe in projects because you can't come into the league with the way the CBA is and the rules are. These coaches can't work with young men as much as we used to. Even if a young man is hungry and says, Coach, I want to get better, can you show me some stuff? There's only a certain amount of time you can have with them. So, you know, these guys have to be developed somewhat to where they can be a starter. Now, I'm also a firm believer is that you can't make the club sitting on the sidelines holding up clipboard. You got to get your ass out in the football field. You see what I'm saying? And there's going to be times you're going to get beat, and that's fine. You know, the guys on the other side of the ball get paid too, but you're supposed to learn from your mistakes. I saw some development out of Caleb Rogers last year when he was getting play time. Unfortunately, it just happened too late. And, of course, when Cole Miller went down and JPJ went down, it exposed the offensive line in many other ways, so it was really hard to get a true assessment. But they couldn't run the football. We saw what happened. Even though Ashton Jeanty almost came to 1,000 yards, they need to address the offensive line in some capacity. I don't think they do it with pick number 36, but I do think they address it today.
Without a doubt. Big Link, I tell you what, we're talking about development. We're talking about seeing, you know, guys in college and how they translate to the pros. Talk to us a little bit about coaching. How can coaching and the different coaching styles help a player get to his peak earlier than later?
Well, I believe EA, and a lot of times in a lot of systems, obviously depending on the system and where you're coming from before, coaching can only have so much of an impact before you resort to what got you here in the first place. And what I'm talking about is what you developed over your college career or whatever your college program is. If it was enough to get you drafted, you're always going to revert to in that muscle memory back to those things. Now, sometimes you can work kids out of those techniques and sometimes you can't. But I remember specifically in my day that, you know, my coach came up to me and says, you know what, I don't like your kick slide, but you're effective in your drop back. And I used to try to drop back like a DB. I used to actually backpedal to get in position to block defensive tackles and defensive ends. Coaches hate it. They hated that technique.
Yep.
But it worked for me. And so it doesn't matter how you do it, but how you get the job done. Where coaching comes into mind is when you try to get creative ways to get to a player, to get into his head, to make him a better player. Whatever it is, whatever you say to him, whatever you light up. One time when the light goes off, it's like looking into your kid's eyes and you see that smile, you're like, oh, you get it, and it does your heart well. That's where coaching comes into me.
Like, I'm not saying there is an offensive lineman deficit in the NFL, but 9 offensive linemen were taken out of the 32.
You just said it, Amber. There is an offensive line deficit.
9. And I'd say probably 4 of those, I'm thinking off the top of my head, at least 4 did not have first-round grades.
Right.
So, you know, my concern is the lack of depth and the lack of offensive linemen that might be left in the second round. Now, you might have some that match up in the third or the fourth round. I don't know if you have your notes there. Are there, you know, what do you think of who might be left? Do you have that same concern that I do?
Well, look, here's the thing, Amber. When you break it down, you've got quarterbacks that are making almost $500 million. If you're going to invest that much in one person, you've got to invest in their protection. So that's why you see a lot of teams drafted offensive line. It's a big need. It's a big need. When you want to open up offenses, whether you want to run the ball or throw the ball, it is a big need, and we saw that. And for me, you know, there's a guy by the last name Dunker who's out of Iowa, a tackle that stood out to me. He made it through this round. Now, second round might be a little high for him, but he's a mauler. I love maulers. I love physical maulers, and I think he would be good in this offense if they wanted to reach. The guard out of Texas A&M, and I can't remember his last name, he's another mauler. Second round's a little high to take a guy like that because there's also other needs that they have to address. Like I said, I think they go defensive tackle at 36, but at the same point, I think they could still address the need. There's still some good offensive linemen out there.
Big Link, hey, I'm on your side, dog, when you say lineman, offensive lineman, D lineman. I'm on your side. But then again, you know, when I sit at the pizzeria with Amber and EA, I'll be telling them, man, Link, I'll be tripping, man, because I'm messing with you. Because when you watch the National Football League right now, when we evaluate quarterbacks, unlike when we played back in the days, when you evaluate quarterbacks nowadays, one of the main things they go to is how mobile is he.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even with the offensive line, a lot of the better quarterbacks in our league are the mobile guys. But even with them being the mobile guys, they have big-time playmakers to throw to. So my only thing is you just said that you don't know if the second and third round there is any starting lineman left. Right. And you agree that when you're drafting in those, you should be getting a starting player.
Right.
If you're not going to get a starting player right there, go put some pieces around this young fella so he can have some success. Because I understand Zach Best, second-round pick. We ain't seen nothing out of him yet. Dante Thornton, we ain't seen nothing out of him yet. I want to go get some people that we seen something out of them. So when the Raider image jersey stores and all that, they say, man, hey, we know number 11. We know that A.J. Brown on the back. Like, we going to. So my thing
A.J. Brown? No.
Help him.
No, don't test. No, don't test that. Don't take that sweat. You don't need that. Not A.J. Brown.
Man, go get that ball.
Jay, come on now. All right. Let me ask you this. All right, and I know you guys got a full show.
No.
Who's an ex-receiver that you say is still available? A number one receiver that you say is still available?
In the
your
draft?
Opinion? Yes.
There is none.
Again, that's my point. Don't reach.
No,
you don't
I'm
need to
with
reach.
you.
So, but I mean, some of these receivers in today's games are too much of divas. You don't need that sweet. You're trying to build a scene.
In today's game, they've been divas.
There you go, Big Link. Let them know.
They've been divas since way back when.
True story. But I'm trying to keep it politically correct. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Big Link, who was the receivers on your team when y'all was having a lot of success?
I had Tim Brown. I had Jerry Rice. I had Hall of Famers.
Hey, talk to me.
I had Hall of Famers.
Because the quarterback Rich Gannon won MVP. Not saying you ain't blocked.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Them dudes is like that.
There were many times I walked off the field and both Jerry and Tim were like, damn, I was wide open. You got to give me the football. I got to get my catches. I'm like, there were 3 people around you. When were you open?
We always open league.
That's just it. That's just it.
You know what I'm saying? But you still need us to win, though.
I know. I'm not saying you're not important. But to your point, with having Jack Best, with having Dante Thornton, with having Trey Tucker coming in the last year of his contract, you've got a number of unproven commodities. You know what you have out of Brock Bowers. I want to see what we can make out of Michael Mayer. I thought that when they drafted Brock Bowers, I foresaw a 12-personnel offense, much like the Rams. That I was envisioning it. It's never come to fruition. We're not there yet. There's only one football. And if you have Ashton Jeanty and all these other playmakers, look, this team last year, there was one game where they only had 30 offensive plays. That was unheard of.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Unheard of, absolutely crazy. And so you don't see that. You just don't see that. So what I'm saying is that, you have to draft the necessities to make the engine go. That's why I think you focus today on defense and offensive line.
There you go.
Yeah, but the best.
There you go.
The best offenses have a lot of playmakers, though.
Yeah, they do.
Let's take, for instance,
It's chicken and egg.
Yeah, but let's look at the Kansas City Chiefs. You took away a lot of Patrick Mahomes' playmakers. You did, and he was out there with some dudes kind of like we talking today. Hollywood Brown, unproven. Rasheed Rice, second-round pick. We're talking about, I don't even know, there was another Thornton out there that was trying to make some plays. But all I'm saying is once he lost those proven dudes, it eventually bit him. And now they scratching and clawing to get them playmakers back out there.
And what did they do in the offseason, the Kansas City Chiefs? Who did they get? The Super Bowl MVP running back. Go along with it. And even
they
when
just traded up to get a corner, the top corner, the top corners in the draft, number 6.
We were rolling with Link in the line, Napoleon Kaufman.
He was like that.
We had Tyrone Wheatley.
He was like that.
So we could run the ball, and then you You bring that safety in the box, and now you hit him with Tim Brown.
So basically what you're saying is it's a lot now. Some starting running backs now. No, for real though. It's some starting running backs in the second and third round. So if we're going to go to Clint Kubiak way, because he had a two-headed monster last year, draft a running back.
Look at you. Look at you.
Thinking outside the box.
Let me ask you a specific question here. We keep talking about defensive tackle, and we're looking at like a Caden McDonald, right?
Yes.
That's still available. Clearly, he's a big boy. They need a true nose tackle in this 3-4 defense. Switching to 3-4 base, I know there's going to be a lot of nickel. It's not like you're always in 3-4, but just switching to that as a base. What does that do to offensive lines and how they have to approach this defense?
Well, if you have someone, for example, like a Hayward out of Pittsburgh, you know, he's what I call a block eater. You're not going to be able to block him one-on-one. You got to assign two guys to him, which alleviates the pressure on your linebackers. They're able to run sideline to sideline. Some of the best 3-4 defenses I played against had that ability where linebackers were capable of making plays and being the all-star. You're going to see some sort of hybrid formation out of the Raiders when they do it, but you got to have that internal pressure that can attack that box that quarterback feels so comfortable with. Because when you have ends like Malcolm Koonce and Tyree Wilson and Max Crosby coming around the side, they're not running outside the pocket. They're stepping up in the pocket. That's why you have to have that four-set defensive tackle that can push that pocket.
Link, we appreciate you listening to JJ this whole time.
Way to go, Link.
Diva!
All right, we appreciate you, Link, and have fun down there at the party. We'll see you around.
Gotcha.
All right, still to come here as we count you down.
bad,
We are getting close to round 2 of the draft. It's getting ready to kick off from Pittsburgh. Who will John Spytek and company choose next? Stick with us. Final thoughts.
It's game day, the day we've been waiting for. And this is more than just a game. It's a passion, a lifestyle. Here at the Raider Image, you're part of our team. Whether you're in the stands or cheering from home, we've got your back. Feel the confidence, own the game.
We
are the Raider Image. Your game, your gear, exclusively at the Raider Image.
Hey, I'm excited about this. Kwity Paye, defensive end, the kind of player you can line up anywhere on the defensive line, and he's going to be effective. Does an outstanding job of having that great speed off the edge, but the discipline to be able to handle the edge and be able to put a post up there like you can't run outside. Just great job here. Obviously, a twist stunt, and you have to have the rhythm and being tact with your defensive tackle or defensive end to be able to run this. This is great time here. Boom, put that left round in, and now, bam, free reign on the quarterback. Amazing job knowing that you can blend in. You got to get that rhythm if you're running these stunts up front. This is what we call a bench front. See, all the guys are so wide, so it puts stress on those linemen to be wide, and now you come back underneath. So that was a great call by the defensive coordinator, and he was able to run that stunt perfectly because of his timing, his strength, and more importantly, his speed. We'll see here on play 2, Paye again. We can line him up anywhere, left, right, inside, doesn't really matter. But the one thing you have to do on your edge, you have to really make sure you force that quarterback to go inside, not outside. So he does a great job there of being able to be strong enough to hold that tackle and hold his edge. That's one thing as a coordinator we always talk about is, hey man, take care of the edge. Don't let anyone outside. So he made the great Pat Mahomes have to tuck up inside, and he was still able to release and get a little piece of that sack. Man, you wanted the speed, get up front, right power to stay on top, make that quarterback go inside, then you release, and you get a little sack there, right? That's a good job by Paye being able to hold the edge, not allowing the quarterback to get outside. All right, we're right here on the right side. The tight end's gonna line up over us. Like, hey, tight end's like, I got him. No, you don't have him. We're gonna really press you. That's bench press right there. He did 39 bench press at the combine as an incoming rookie. That is amazing. The guy's so strong, so big and physical that he can get the job done. We like a guy who can create havoc on the edge. You're not getting outside of me, right? You have to be able to turn that ball back in so those linebackers and tackles can make big time plays. We need to have that great speed to strength coming off the edge, right? And then come down the line of scrimmage once again. Look at that. Wow. Can you see him on one side, Max on the other? I mean, just unstoppable. Guys getting in the backfield, running plays down. And you know, Max does this all the time. So this is a great job by him showing that patience, understanding what the play is going to be, and then making the play, more importantly, in the backfield, right? Watch this little dip. I step inside, I'm able to bounce off because I'm strong, then I use my speed to be able to hold the running back down on the ground. So, Kwity Paye doing an amazing job there. We love his versatility and ability to be able to play in the backfield.
Welcome to Pink Box. Raiders fan, huh?
Raiders.
We've got your picks.
Look at that one. That's the pick, baby.
No doubt that the Raiders need offensive line, wide receiver, a lot of different ways that they could go there in round 2 or round 3. Give me some other names, some other directions that you think when you're doing your mock drafts. You said you've landed on a couple tackles, but where do you think they could go there at number 36 especially?
Yeah, I think that I like those defensive tackle names that I mentioned in Caden McDonald and Christian Miller. Those guys are feel-good type of players. You add them in, and I feel like you've got a good sense of confidence that they're going to be able to really help out the free agent additions and the rest of that team along the way. I like some of the corners that I mentioned, you know, Colton Hood, Chris Johnson, those are some options there. But if you go to some other positions, safety, for example, you know, if Emmanuel McNeil-Warren is there for you, I don't know if he will be. I think that might be a little bit of a stretch, but if he's there at the safety position, you feel pretty good about that. A.J. Halsey, the safety from LSU, much more likely that he's there at the beginning of the second round. And this is a player who I think that's where his range starts, especially if you want to give him the freedom to patrol that middle of the field. His nickname's Mr. Give Me That because of all the interceptions that he got over the middle of the field, baiting those quarterbacks' eyes. And so you have somebody who really can give you some turnovers there. And then I mentioned a couple of the edge rushers as well. Really just depends on, hey, where do we feel like we can build the best draft strategy? Where can we see, all right, where's the value here? Where are these guys going to come off the board? Are there specific traits that we're really trying to hone in on? That's, I think, the question that John Spytek's going to answer. But there's a lot of different names and a lot of different ways they can do this in a successful manner. I think the corner and edge rusher for this team feels like those positions. I think you're going to hit at least one of them with those multiple fourth-round picks that they have. Again, like I said at the top, you know, once you get into day 3, it's a lot more specialized players, right? It's not guys who you go, okay, this is a 3-down player. If they were a 3-down player, they probably weren't getting picked in the 4th round. All due respect to Max Crosby, who very clearly outplayed that 4th-round selection. But you get to some of those specific pass rushers. A Mason Rieger from Wisconsin, a Max Llewellyn from Iowa, right? These guys who, all right, they're a little bit slender. They're not going to be the best against the run for you, but they've got a deep pass rush bag, and they know how to get after the quarterback. You know, if you want to fortify the offensive line, I think the offensive line, you're going to have some options there as well. Billy Strout, the offensive guard from Notre Dame. I look at Trey Zune, the offensive tackle at Texas A&M, who I think could play center and guard at the NFL level. You start thinking about those players. And then wide receiver, I mean, Malachi Lawrence, Ted Hurst, you know, guys like that who could be available for you in the 3rd and even 4th round. You start maybe thinking about wide receiver additions as well. I know it's not the most pressing need on this team, but with multiple 4th-round picks, those are some names that you can kind of think about in that regard. If you go back to the defensive line, I think a guy like Tim Keenan, hey, if you want a nose tackle type, somebody who's just going to clog things up for you in the middle, I mean, Tim Keenan from Alabama, he's streamlined in that he's probably not going to give you much as a pass rusher, but he'll be a rock for you in the middle of your defense. And so if you want to play more odd front stuff, have that 0-and-1 technique nose tackle, he's somebody who you can keep your eye on as well.
That's Trevor Sikkema. That was him joining us on our pre-draft special. A wealth of information. I know. And, you know, he brought up something we haven't talked a lot about. I feel like because, you know, you brought in the veterans that we brought in. You got Malcolm Kuntz. You got Max Crosby. But nobody's bringing up that this is a deep edge draft. We keep talking about defensive tackle. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, I'm looking at this list of best available players. I mean, you got T.J. Parker, Cassius Howell. They're ranked very high on a lot of experts' lists of best players still available. And who wants to rush the passer? Oh, Rob Leonard does. Where did he tell you when he sat down?
Yeah. Now, we see a lot of edges there, and we have a lot of edges on our football team. And going to a new style of defense, obviously, if we get an edge today, that means that someone is not going to be here. And we just signed Malcolm Kuntz. Of course, Max is going to be here. So if we get an edge, that says that room, maybe Tyree or somebody is on the trading block or something, because right now that room is pretty full. And with the style of defense we're playing, we need some beef in the middle of the football field.
And not only that, man, I know, it's a hope and a wish that we trade for A.J. Brown. But when you truly watch where Clint Kubiak came from, they won the Super Bowl because their defense was dominant. Who was the most dominant dude on their defense? Leonard Williams in the middle of that defense. So we're going to go defense. Look what we did in the offseason. We brought in 7 defensive players, some big-time defensive players. So he knows, man, listen, we got to build this defense. We'll have a young quarterback. Let's get some stops, field position, and let's put him in some situations. So I know I'm screaming for A.J. Brown, and that's a hope and a wish. He going to go defense. He going to plug in that defensive tackle that barely fitting in his helmet. What's his name?
Hayden McDonald.
He barely could buckle it up. I seen him down there in the equipment room. They had like 3 XXX helmets trying to figure out which one gonna go on him.
You know what's interesting about
go
the Raiders rosters over the last several years? There hasn't been a true, the inside linebackers. I mean, I know you have a middle linebacker and a 4-3, but in 3-4 you get 2 inside linebackers. We haven't talked a lot, about the linebackers. They go ahead and they sign, Quay Walker. Why am I blanking on the other linebacker? And Kobe Dean that they signed. Do you feel when you talk about you're talking about the middle of the line, but the middle of the field,
that's so
especially
important.
In a league where, let's say, like tight ends have become so huge, right? Like, you got to have that linebacker play. Do you feel so much better about where the Raiders are now at the linebacker position?
I love me some Spillane, right? I love Spillane. Yeah, I love me some Spillane, and he did a phenomenal job.
He went on to help the Patriots.
Yeah, right. Went to the Super Bowl last year.
He not them.
But he's not the guys that we have lined up right now in the middle of the football field who have played in big-time games, have played in situations where they're in the Super Bowl championship games. These guys play downhill. They're red dot guys. You understand, they played in Georgia, so college they played big-time football, played big-time football here. And so I'm not worried at all about the middle of the football field being off-ball linebackers. But to complement them, you need someone up front so they can get into that mug look. They can run sideline to sideline. They can hit those holes and have freedom to be able to roam and play like we've seen in these highlights, because that's really what it's about. Having guys who can make big-time plays in the middle of the football field and be the commanding leaders that middle linebackers are supposed to be.
And you're 100% right, because if you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they got a dude by the name from Georgia that we didn't draft.
Jalen Carter, he came one after us.
Moves the pocket backwards, right? He moves the pocket backwards. Then you look at the Packers. You had big dog Kenny Clark in there. Right? And Kenny Clark was an all-pro, a Pro Bowler for a long time, got traded to the Cowboys for Micah. So those dudes had big-time dudes in front of them. The Raiders have the best linebacker core in the NFL, and it ain't just because we on the Raiders show. There's no 2 linebackers on any other team together better than the Las Vegas Raiders.
Say that again, JJ, because that's something nobody's talking about.
Kobe Dean and Quay Walker sitting next to each other. At Georgia, they was the best duo together. And coming here to Las Vegas, they're the best duo in the National Football League. There's not 2 linebackers better than them. Them 2 dudes is downhill. Them 2 dudes is sideline to sideline. And them 2 dudes can cover. It is not no linebacker duo that has what these 2 dudes have, period. I'm telling you. I watched them both, especially Quay.
Do we need to beef up safety?
I'm okay. Like, if we're not going to get a safety in today, we don't need them, because we got to start. We need a starter today. Whatever we're drafting today, we need a starter. Or if we're going to get out of that and go get someone, today is a day where we're going to get a starter somewhere, offensively, defensively. I think safety-wise, we can be okay. We're going to be all right. I don't think we're going to run a lot of man-to-man stuff. We're not going to ask that safety to be playing the slot guy man-to-man like he was last year. Want you back in the backfield, being able to take away those big plays and allow those corners to come up and make some plays on the ball.
Last thoughts on where the Raiders are standing right now versus where they were when we last did our shows 4 months ago.
Oh, my goodness.
Night and day.
Night and day. Light years.
Playoffs, here we come. We're going to the playoffs.
And Fernando Mendoza being on this set, we're getting ready to turn it over to the second round. John Spottek is about to do his magic in the second round.
I'm to the war room right now.
The draft room.
Jason's got Howie Roseman on.
I got answers. I'm to the draft room. I got answers for that. You know what I'm saying?
But I'll tell you, this is an exciting time to be a Raider. Thank you guys for joining us. Be sure to keep it right here. All the Raiders platforms where you have coverage of the draft picks, all of the feedback, all of the reaction that is coming up. Hey, for Eric Allen, for James Jones, I'm Amber Theoharis. It's been fun hanging out with you.
Raider Nation,
Just
baby.
win, baby. Welcome, Fernando Mendoza.